Off we go.
And we are off. We gone. Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, chat. We are back again on another Monday, which, as we were just discussing literally 5 seconds ago, is the best and happiest and most optimistic day of the week. And we come to fill your hearts with joy at all the great stuff that pop culture is giving us this week. So, yeah, as per usual, lovely panel is with us. We have, chat, you're okay, I guess. Some of you are lovely, probably. I don't know. But we have some topics. Some stuff has happened this week. The Last of Us is out. People have been saying stupid things about Minecraft and the Fantastic Four thing. I guess we'll just get right into it, right? What is coming up first?
First would be the topic that's on the thumbnail, which is Fantastic Four is showing more and more that it is made for a modern audience, as our little corner likes to call it. This quote stood out, but there's a lot more, actually. I didn't make slides for every quote because there's almost too many at this point. But Joseph Quinn, on his adaptation of Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four, said, Kevin Feige and I were speaking about previous iterations of him. He was branded as this womanizing, devil-may-care guy. But is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings.
Oh,
so not Johnny Storm.
Yeah,
basically. So
just made him lame.
Make him gay and lame.
Yeah,
Flame on indeed.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Flaming homosexual. Yeah.
God.
It'll be interesting because statistically, there's got to be maybe one woman in the chat, maybe even two. I'd be kind of interested to get their opinion. What is sexier to you, ladies in the chat, or if you're not a lady but you're still that way inclined, what do you find more attractive in a character? Is it someone who's like the bad boy who needs to maybe learn some lessons, but he has a personality and he's quite abrasive and he's quite cocky and he's quite arrogant? Or is it the male feminist who sometimes catches fire? Because, I think I know my answer to that question, and it's not likely to be the male feminist, but maybe I'm in a minority there.
They're just under this delusion that they don't think women like
men,
manly men, masculine men that are actually going to be confident enough to fight for what they want, or show that type of confidence that's going to make a woman. It's just I don't know. It's worked for thousands of years. Part of the reason that dynamic's been so consistent. So many girls make the mistake of going down the bad boy route, but it's because they find them attractive. Why not explore that with your storytelling ability instead of just acting like it doesn't exist?
Doesn't this affect his relationship with Ben Grimm? Because he always takes the piss out of the Thing. That's the relationship between the two characters. So,
he's
but
not
if he's
so callous now.
So what's the relationship going to be between him and the Thing? Because he won out. He gets to fly, turn on fire, is the ladies' man, is handsome. Ben Grimm lost everything. That's kind of the dynamic.
That's so true. You change the character, you change the relationships.
Yep. 100%.
Or is he just going to be an asshole to Ben?
But he's not so callous with other people's feelings now. So
just the things.
Yeah, well, the Thing isn't a person, maybe. That'll be the caveat.
Him flirting around with women, it's a useful character flaw you could utilize.
Yeah.
But no, let's throw it out the window because we can't have that because it's, Hollywood. Hollywood's like that, and we can't have anything similar to Hollywood.
Well,
so let's just make him safe.
I mean, it certainly was 16 years ago, but they did it with Tony Stark, and that actually was part of the evolution of his character because he was a womanizer, but ended up with Pepper Potts and started a family. And if you're just going to completely strip this character of that aspect, I don't know. I want to just straight up ask, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
But asking, is it sexy these days, is like the trigger, the line in this entire thing that annoys me the most. Of just it's always been a sexy thing for women. Like, why not? Even like you mentioned, Iron Man. They've done it well in the past. You can make it a part of their character and actually like have them evolve, but they know where to go from there. If you're a womanizer, that's it. That's the beginning and ending to your character.
And 007, I mean, Jesus Christ,
so many
entire characters. It's a huge foundational piece.
They're missing out on the massive like draw of a lot of these characters is the women in the audience who sit there thinking, I can fix him. Like that is unironically
Right.
a big
Yes.
thing. You
Yes.
had the Rings of Power superfans saying that about Sauron, for fuck's
Yes.
sake. Like, people like thinking they can mend broken characters. If you present them as kind of reasonably well put together already with no personality that needs fixing, and because they're all, very, very calm and measured and polite, and they've got, they've got everything together and they know what they're doing, and they're nice to everyone. What is there to fix? But to divorce it from the specifically I can fix him trope, it is still, as has been mentioned, very important. You want your characters to have very strong, very pronounced arcs. You want them to go from a clearly defined point A, which has a very, very obvious and established delta, with point Z that they arrive at the end. It's very hard to do that if you begin with them being boring and you end with them being also quite boring. That's not very interesting to the audience, lo and behold.
And this isn't the only thing that's a modern audience worthy hot take, and these are the actual actors playing the roles that are saying this stuff. So Vanessa Kirby, who's playing Sue Storm, said that essentially they're going to be diving into gender politics with her character, because she's not going to be the same kind of 1960s Sue, because that Sue is more of a doormat. So therefore, this version of her was a lot of fun to explore. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she specifically did say that they're diving into like the gender politics of this. Like, she actually used the key buzzwords. It was a phenomenal quote. I should have snagged it.
Some PR guy probably told her that.
Was anyone surprised by this though? Like, it's the only
I
story
am.
they don't have to know.
I thought we were beyond this. I thought we were getting beyond this, but it's almost like the last 5 years hasn't happened.
Well, how long
Marvel learned no lesson.
How long have these movies been in production? Because I felt the same way, and then we still have these things popping out. We got Black Snape, we got this stupidness, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I thought like something like Snow White and the Marvels, like, we're slowly learning this is not the way.
Well, the people are still there. That's the problem. They're still employed. Unless those people are fired, which is basically most of Warner Brothers, is most of Disney, is most of Marvel. These companies can only make woke stories because you've got woke activists in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering how long they've been in production. Like, this stuff was already made with that mentality in mind.
Yeah, with this Fantastic Four movie, it's Marvel's first family. So Fantastic Four aren't really that well known. And a part of me really hoped that this movie could be like an Iron Man, raise all these characters to kind of like a higher popularity level, because they absolutely deserve it. I mean, Fantastic Four has some great characters. They've got some great villains. But when they say stuff like this, it just kind of gets me worried. They fired John Watts, replaced him with WandaVision director. You have you have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and now they're saying stuff like this to promote the film. Is it going to be an Iron Man level film?
No way.
That's exit out.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it needs to be. As you say, this is the first film of Phase 6, and it's the last film before the next Avengers film. It really needs to be something that makes a massive splash. We need to know everything we need to know about these characters going into that Avengers film, and we only have this film to establish it. It's the beginning of their journey, and a lot of their journey is going to be then distracted from by the fact that Avengers Doomsday has about half the population of the known universe in it. So they're not going to have a huge amount of time to flesh the characters out further. But you'd think, even if, like, as Jedi says, it's been in production for ages, but even given that, you would think they would know not to bring up crap like this in the press tour, because like that doesn't, it's completely independent of how long the movie's been in production.
Yeah.
You can choose what to talk about on any given day. Even just look around you at how well this stuff lands whenever anybody else does it. It's never going to make your film more popular.
That's such a good point, man, because my point about the production is like, that's one thing, but you should still be smart enough to know this is the time to pivot and adapt. Don't mention those things. Even if it's in the movie, your marketing is still your marketing. Just shut your mouth and give us a story. You know, like, look at Penguin. Penguin didn't give us any bullshit and then told us a fantastic story. And then that's it. Even with the flaws or any of the issues that you could have with it, you're still going to appreciate that way more than being lectured. And I can't stand them making these quotes before the movie comes out, and I'm like, I immediately lose my interest, because I'm like, I'm not going to tell a story. You're not going to tell a story now. I'm not interested in another lecture. You're not good at it. Like, you're not good at lecturing people. That's what they need to realize. Yeah.
And on an adaptation point, they're going straight to the Galactus story, like immediately, which is bizarre for me to have like a first Fantastic Four film in the MCU. You go to Galactus straight off the bat and have a female Silver Surfer, and it just makes no sense to me. Why not just focus on Fantastic Four without like a cosmic threat? Just establish them as characters.
I keep
Whatever.
forgetting they've done the whole female Silver Surfer thing because that
Yeah,
I remember
that's
lots
on
of people
top of
talking
it.
about when it was announced, but since then there hasn't been a huge amount about it. It's like everything else that's come out is sort of distracting from that. Do we even know what she looks like at this point,
No.
or is
No,
that still
not yet.
firmly under wraps?
They've kept that to themselves, and maybe wisely so.
Yeah.
She's
Which
gonna
is
have
really
she's
interesting.
gonna have the wig like Batwoman. That's my
Oh
luck.
God, could you imagine?
Give me
Picks
that.
up the surfboard and someone says it's perfect. It will be when
Yeah.
it's ridden by a woman. Yep.
Oh, please give
I
me
love
that. I
that.
think that's what we need. That'll fix it all.
Because they're
Unless they
going.
can get
Sorry, Reaper. They're going for like the biggest story because they're not confident in selling it to you, so they're going for the most popular thing they
Yeah.
can.
I was gonna say, they're mining it. They're treating it like a mine. They're getting all the ore they can. They're not actually treating it like a story that we need to build up and explore with these characters. It always comes back to the fact that they don't care about the characters, don't understand why they worked, and they just know they can make money off of them. That's it. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
You do wonder whether, and because I don't know very much, if anything at all, actually about the comics. Is there a chance they might do with, say, Galactus what the MCU did with Loki, in the sense that they introduce him in a movie as the proximate antagonist, they reveal the overarching antagonist, but they keep him around maybe for future movies? Does he have a relationship with Doctor Doom in the comics? Is there any potential for him to be like a Loki-style character, do we think? Or is this a one and done for
I think it's
Galactus?
a one and done, and I like my estimation of what's going to happen is they're using Galactus because this is a different universe, and Galactus is going to eat their planet, and they probably have to escape it, I would imagine. So I wonder if like Galactus wins at the end of this one.
You know what, man? Why can't they ever do that? Like Infinity War's ending is one of the best things they've ever done. Even though it was kind of ruined for me the moment I saw Black Panther get dusted, because I'm like, come on, now I know you're not committing to this, because there's no way you're not bringing that dude back after all the money that movie just made. But
Now
it's
they're
still
definitely not bringing him back.
Yeah, well, there we go. But the ending of Thanos just sitting there on the farm is like, I love it, man. So why can't the villain end, or why can't the villain ever win? Even a Predator movie, the Predators never won one. I don't know. It would be nice to see a different take on them.
Well, they might do is get Namor to fuck Sue Storm like he did in the comics.
Namor won't be a
Fantastic.
womanizer.
And Mr. Fantastic keeps trying to kill himself, but because of his stretching powers, he can't. Tries to hang himself, but he hits the floor. Throws himself off a building, he bounces
made-
back up.
Namor like Aztec, right? Wouldn't that be like culturally insensitive? Like,
No, he's Latino, isn't he?
okay.
Mr. Fantastic. Was he Chilean?
I-
Pedro
What was-
Pascal.
oh
No,
I
no,
think
Namor.
it's Chilean. Oh, Namor.
No, I know. They're both Latino, so
Okay, so it evens out. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Latinx.
Latinx. Where did that come from? The Latinx thing.
A
Came from a
university
white
somewhere.
liberal. Yeah.
Yeah.
A white liberal woman somewhere.
I
What
love
do
the
you
way
think
it
the
was used for
speech-
like 3% of people, and 97% of the people it applies to say, we fucking hate the term, stop it. And they
Yeah.
carried on doing it. It's
It's
just-
so weird.
Yeah.
Gotta make this
you know what?
stick.
By the end of this movie, when they have to talk to Galactus, what do you think they're gonna say to persuade him to not eat the planet? Do you think it's like, "Hey, stop it"?
Yeah.
And he goes,
what are you
"Okay."
gonna do?
I mean, that's how
Nine
Captain
to the
America
stomach.
4 ended. So
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
3.
Yeah, that's
You've
what they
gotta
do
better,
nowadays.
Galactus.
Just don't be a dick. It's the don't be a dick writing. Yeah.
yeah.
That's it. You're gonna have a don't be a dick scene. You're gonna have a memory story scene. Like you're gonna have no characterization.
Memory store. Fuck.
Oh,
God,
God.
I forgot about that piece of shit.
Yeah, the mandatory. That's how they write, man. They suck.
Fuck.
Um,
You got to do better, Galactus.
Ugh. And then there's you. I don't know if anyone's keeping up with Daredevil, but You Got to Do Better Part 2 happened, and it like made me quit the show. Like I just tapped out.
I quit after.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The fucking black dude in the thing with Matt just crying about his
Oh,
stupid
the one who just commits crime after crime after
Yeah,
crime, and then says it's unfair that I keep getting arrested for it.
That broke
And
me.
then,
That broke
and
me.
then Matt Murdock says, "You know what? Yes, you're right.
He
Fuck you,
agrees.
show."
That broke me, man. I was getting
No,
like hot
but as-
flashes watching that. It's just
Have
And
you
they
caught
couldn't
up
even
to
do the
date with it?
mad thing about that is like the obvious thing to do if you want to make the point the writers want to make there is that you say, "Oh, I had to steal food because my family was starving." You don't have
Yeah.
him sit in the jail and say, "Sometimes I just want something that tastes good,
I just
so
want
I
something that
stole
tastes
it."
good.
It's just
That's it. Something
you're
wrong with
not
that.
a sympathetic character. You're just a dick.
It's one of the stupidest scenes ever made, like ever. It's so incredibly stupid. Like you said, just everyone understands stealing a loaf of bread to feed your starving family, but like, oh, it just tastes good. Why can't I have something that tastes good? How did fallen so far in a society that actually took place in a story? Like you're fucking
He had a sweet tooth. Like, can you blame him? Jeez.
it's incredible. Like oh man, that scene haunts me, man. I don't think I can ever go back to that show. Like I just tapped out. I saw the Frank Castle scene and I just
You
quit.
didn't see the finale?
I haven't caught up with that yet. No, does it get
I
even
lit-
worse somehow?
I gave up.
Are you well? Have you seen episode 7?
No, no. I think I've got up to 6. I think.
Oh well, episodes. So just after he fights Muse. Is that the one you're on?
Yeah. So,
So-
Muse is introduced and then beating the shit out of within 5 seconds, then he runs away.
Yeah.
Great for
Well,
them.
do you know how bad it gets? The very next episode, out of nowhere, Muse is having a therapy session with his girlfriend, with Matt Murdock's girlfriend, who seems to be fucking everyone's therapist in the show.
There's
then he
only one
goes-
therapist in New York, by the way.
There is.
Like out of nowhere, he goes, "It's you. It's because of you I became a serial killer." Like they try to establish this fucking relationship between them. They have. Then he tries to paint her blood all over the floor. Matt Murdock comes in, fights him, and then she gets free and kills him. So Muse is just gone
What? Oh, what already?
Amazing.
already.
fun.
Then in episode 8, they're having a conversation, and she goes, "Daredevil didn't save me. I did, even though Daredevil came through the fucking window and started fighting him when he was about to stab her to death."
How many times did Matt apologize in this season? Because I hear the number just kept going after I stopped watching. Like he's just
Oof, I've lost count.
it's insane, man. It's like Kenobi or Nick Fury or any of those ones. They just put them through this arc of humiliation and shame, the shame ritual, and I don't get it, man.
But
Dude's
then-
fine. Like leave him the fuck alone. Like you would think doesn't that fit your criteria? Like doesn't Matt count? Like fuck you. I hate
Well, what
that
she
show,
does
I
is
really do.
Matt's girlfriend, the therapist, says Daredevil, Muse, vigilantes are all the same. They're just boys, underdeveloped boys. And you went, number one, Muse isn't a fucking vigilante. He's a serial killer.
a big
The show is a
difference.
bit unsure on that point. It doesn't really know what a vigilante is. It's
Yeah,
it's
like
very
criminals
confused.
are vigilantes as well.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Just
the
Google.
Kingpin, who says, "I know I really hate vigilantes, and so does New York, even though fucking vigilantes saved the world." Then creates his own private army of people who, by his broad definition, are also vigilantes. I bet that doesn't get brought up. I haven't seen the last few episodes yet, but it's like
It's so
I can understand Mount's girlfriend turning people into a serial killer, though. I think I can get that. If like, I mean, given that she sat Kingpin down and said, "No, you shut up," while your wife starts talking about how amazing your cuck's hands are, like that's enough to turn a guy into a murderous psychopath. I think so. I can understand that.
Oh, she literally goes, Daredevil and Muse, there's no difference. And then he didn't save my life when he fucking flew through the window and battered Muse before he could kill her.
Does she do it in like Does she do it in like a monologue while there's a montage? Because I predicted
It's
this
a
when we
back
did like
and forward
episode 1.
argument.
Oh, it's actually entire. Because I predicted like when we did episode, as soon as it's episode 2 when she says she's writing the book for the first time on vigilantes.
Yeah.
And I said Aoife, but I know basically how this plays out. At some point, basically toward the end of the season, you'll have this montage cut of like relevant visuals while she starts speaking in, you know, very generic but pseudo profound ways about what vigilantes represent in society. That's the kind of thing you always do. I guess a dialogue scene is a step up from that, but it still sounds pretty retarded, to be honest.
Well, Matt Murdock is basically going, Daredevil and Muse aren't the same. And she goes, yes, they are. They're both underdeveloped boys.
That's fucking bullshit, man.
But
What are
One's
they-
killed
how?
60 people. One has saved countless people.
It's written by idiots. This is like the acolyte in disguise. That's really what it feels like. It's so fucking hateful and stupid, but it's like got the smear of like the season 1 of Daredevil covering it. People are still trying to defend it and treat it like it's the original 2 seasons. It's just not. Just because we have the actors isn't the same thing. Like this is not Matt. This is Cuckpin and like Jake Murdoch. Like that's pretty much what I've watched for 4 episodes and then just tapped out. Like
I almost want to ask like the writer, do you like superheroes? Because it comes off as you
like storytelling, like
yeah,
movies, bro.
It's such a lame attempt at creating conflicts of the therapist completely not understanding where Matt's coming from, and I know at one point she kind of suggests that Matt knows Daredevil. I can't remember which episode it was, like 5 or 6.
I think it's episode 6. Can you give me an interview with the Punisher or Daredevil?
Right.
When you want to meet the Punisher, the fucking maniac who shoots people.
Yeah. Matt never met Daredevil ever, so I don't know how she envisioned him from her mind.
He was his lawyer in season 2.
No.
Oh no, he was Punisher's lawyer in season 2, wasn't he? But how does she know that Matt knows Daredevil?
Remains in contact.
Okay. yeah.
Sure.
But she's a shit psychologist. She can't fucking tell anyone. Doesn't know the serial killer in front of her is a fucking murderer. Doesn't know Kingpin is a fucking cooked man.
He's just so. It's the therapy scenes with him and everything. I'm like, why do you think that this is what people want to see from his Kingpin after all these years? Like when we know what he can do with this character, and like
it is staggering. Like they had that one scene where he and you got Kingpin and Daredevil sitting opposite each other once in a restaurant, where they basically say, "Hey, don't do your thing again."
Yeah.
The other one says, "Yeah, okay, I won't." And then the rest of it, almost every Kingpin scene is him being fucking nagged by therapists. It's horrible.
Why do they just comparing it to season 1 where like just mentioning his name, you know what I mean? A dude will go and like man threw his head into the spike. And he was such an excellent fighter and fully committed throughout the entire episode, was fully confident, wasn't worried in court, he was in control the entire time. But the second he gave up Fist's name, it was over. They made him the boogeyman. They set him up arguably better than Thanos. And they just pissed it away through Echo, Hawkeye. Like apparently from what I've heard, he was like invincible in Hawkeye, and then he gets shot in the head, and now he's back with all the therapists. What are they doing, man?
He does survive getting hit by a truck, I think, in Hawkeye. It's been ages since I've seen it, but I'm sure someone hits him with a truck, and then he gets shot in the head. But he survives both of those experiences.
And he also got
Arrow too as well.
The
he
Echo
got mind
thing.
raped by Pocahontas.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's the one I'm fully aware of. Echo was Echo was like something special. I can't believe how casually they just besmirched his character in that show. Just messing with his backstory, taking the hammer, that's essential to him, and they just nothing. Yeah, that reminds me of the cat scratch with Nick Fury.
Oh God, don't remind me.
I forgot about that.
So we got Cuckpin, we've got Queenpin from Echo, but where's the Kingpin? Haven't seen this motherfucker in like a decade. It's so frustrating.
Well, we find out who killed Foggy. Well, who hired what's his name, Bullseye, to kill Foggy.
Why would you do that in particular?
Guess?
Vanessa.
Yep, pretty much. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
She's the only one. If someone's gonna put a hit out, it's gonna be like her. Like she's the only one making moves this season. Kingpin's there, too busy getting cucked, being a loser.
Yeah, Kingpin was in a coma, and Vanessa was running his crime empire. I wonder who did it.
What motive would she have to do it?
Well, all we really have is because the very last episode, Bullseye. I keep calling him Point Dexter because everyone kept calling him in that in episode 8. Bullseye breaks out of prison and takes a sniper rifle to the ball where Kingpin's having a celebration. Matt Murdock, during a dance, quickly goes, "I know it was you killed Foggy." Then Bullseye goes to shoot Kingpin, but Matt Murdock has to dive in the way, gets hit in the shoulder, and kind of just lies there. And that's the end of episode 8, the finale.
But Reaper, I thought there was one more episode. Was that the finale?
Oh, is that the finale? Is it 8 or 9?
I think it's 9, isn't it?
Oh, so God, we got one more
One more.
episode.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it
because
was the
Frank Castle
finale.
has
That'd be
to have his rampage against the bad cops. You see,
Oh, I thought that
that's
was
the episode we
over.
missed.
Isn't
thought it was
Punisher
over.
Karen supposed to come back towards the end? That's the one thing I've heard. Like what did you think of the Punisher scene initially with him and Matt talking? Like outside of them forgetting that Matt can hear his heartbeat and like treat him like he's actually blind, I thought that was fucking silly. The conversation itself was fantastic, but does it not feel like it was completely out of place? Like it was written from someone else? It didn't belong in this show. Like was that jarring for everyone
Yeah.
else? I couldn't watch that. You're giving me top tier quality, and like I can't go back to watching this crap show now. I just can't. I haven't seen anything since then because I know this isn't. I'm not gonna get that. If I'm not gonna get that, I don't want to watch this.
You didn't see the bank episode.
No,
That was a fucking atrocity.
No, I can't. The pain. That's what I mean. I'm sure it's gonna be more shit. I can't go from Josh Bernthald's acting to some bank heist that's gonna be shit.
It's basically him and Kamala Khan's dad, who's a paedophile in real life, trying to thwart some really retarded. The actor who plays Kamala Khan's dad is a paedophile.
I'm going to throw an allegedly into that sentence.
Yeah.
That's
I
news
got
to me.
arrested. Oh, you say allegedly because you're smart, but yeah, I'm sure he is. He got sexual assault or something like that. What was it? Let me check.
Oh.
Well, anyway, they have to do a bank heist, and it is the most stupid, the most retarded bank heist in history. They don't even lock the front door, so Matt Murdock walks back in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. Where did you come from?
That
As
shouldn't
I
even
just,
be
just
possible.
walked in.
By the most cliche Irishman as well. Don't you know
That's
we're
right.
Irish? We're Irish. Don't you know
Right
we're
in
the
line.
Irish that are there? It's just,
Right in line with.
I
this
get
shit,
it.
man.
You're Irish.
Yeah,
So
man.
tell me a joke. 2 Irish people, and he goes,
Oh, my.
"Oh, another Irish joke."
Man.
I get it, show. I get it. I understood your point. And it's on St. Patrick's Day as well, the bank heist.
It is, yes. Yeah, we've done Latvian Heritage Day and we've done St. Patrick's Day.
Mhm.
And I don't know who gets the next culturally themed day, but someone's got to get one. The Italian American Day of Awareness or something. I don't know.
I like how quickly we just got away from the Fantastic Four.
Just abandoned. Absolutely.
Fucking bye.
We
See-
talked about the wig and Silver Surfer and it moved on. Like, what else is there to say?
Yeah, has anybody else from the cast said something incredibly stupid in an interview recently? I'm sure they
No.
have.
I think
Yeah.
we kind of covered it all, actually. I take back my criticism of us.
No, because like you said, changing the character to gay Johnny now, or whatever they're gonna do, fundamentally changes his relationship with the Thing. So that dynamic is lost out. It's just like picture Lord of the Rings. If you want to make Gimli gay, his dynamic with Legolas is gonna change. You have to change that now. You're not gonna get the same.
Mm.
Oh, it might not be the same. It's just, I don't know. They don't think about these things. The domino effect of changing these characters.
Mm.
I remember reading the chat. Someone said that Sue might be pregnant in this film.
That would
it's
make
Namor's baby.
sense
Mm.
because their child is he becomes like a super special character essentially.
I can't remember his name, but he morphs reality and BS powers like that.
Another one? I think we have loads of those characters. We don't need another one. Like in Space Jesus.
Chat, what is their child's name? How do I keep forgetting?
Franklin Lurches, yes. Well done,
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, chat.
I think just getting less and less creative when it comes to powers and like magic systems, and I just like there's so many cool, like just start stealing from anime or some shit. There's all sorts of cool things in there you could jack. Like fuck it, just show me something that makes sense instead of making the next like multiverse man, like America
but they can't even
Chavez, Gaia.
But they won't steal because it's to them. They have to skin suit everything. It's my great story that I have to wrap up in a Star Wars outfit because they're so fucking egotistical. It has to be their stories. You're force fed. So even if they stole like Attack on Titan, it would be more about fucking Eren and his in the closetness than fucking actual Titans.
Eren would be gay. Mikasa would be the main character. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap. Sasha, oh, Jesus. Don't even put that in my freaking head, man. Yeah. They would ruin it completely.
They don't want success. They want their own stories validated.
And they need a name brand to be able to do that. Like, just like they
Yep.
can't no stories whatsoever. Everything has to be a part of a franchise or a sequel or something. It's just cowards. And I don't know how we're ever going to get away from this if this is the mentality now.
How do you think this movie is going to perform? Fantastic Four.
I think it'll be pretty middling, which is
Yeah.
almost the worst of all possible worlds. It
Do you
won't
think
be
it'll
a disaster, but it won't be a success either.
Yeah. Do you think it'll do better than like Thunderbolts that's coming out here in a couple of weeks?
You would really fucking hope
You'd
so.
hope so,
Yeah.
of course. But that's why I asked the question, because I don't know.
No idea. Those two
I
are
think,
the
yeah.
coin flip.
Fantastic Four never really had a good financial history in terms of box
Right.
office.
Yeah.
Um,
The Avengers got built up through the MCU. X-Men was huge in the 90s, but Fantastic Four is never, maybe in the comic era, but they've never been super popular from my memory.
Mhm.
And their
trailers don't
aesthetic too
do
is
it.
kind of niche. Like not everyone's gonna like the 60s aesthetic, like you said, like they have to nail that. And the fact that they're already changing like fundamentally the type of person that Sue Storm is, like if she's in the 60s, it should apply. You can't just put your modern shit in a something that's supposed to be like a period.
Right. It's just an aesthetic thing. It has nothing to actually do with the story or whatever. It's
Like
just
Loki.
for looks.
Loki season 2, or no, both of them. The whole
The
TVA.
TVA.
thing. Yeah, the aesthetic was cool and all, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. How you been here for you don't know what a fish is, you moron? You don't like it's just it's also broken. And the Infinity Stone thing, it's a complete joke and a waste of a concept. That's pretty much what Marvel is these days.
Yep. And the WandaVision director, I bet they just got him because he's a yes man.
Oh.
He'll say anything to Marvel. Yes, sure, I'll do that. And probably, I'm willing to bet John Watts wanted to do something with the characters, which we're not going to get now, which is such a shame. I think John Watts would have made something better than this WandaVision guy. but-
Didn't he direct
Skeleton Crew.
Well, the problem
He
with
did
WandaVision
the-
was the writing, not really the directing. WandaVision was visually appealing for the most part, at least the first few episodes, and it turned to slop.
Yeah, John
But,
Watts did the Spider-Man Homecoming, and he did Watson Ford is the guy he worked with. I'm sure they did most of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, Skeleton Crew, some other stuff, and like even with Skeleton Crew's very very slim and meager viewing figures. I always thought there's a bit more to it than there is to almost anything else that comes out recently, because he actually likes telling character stories, which is a good thing in my opinion. Knows how to stick small scale stories into a much broader world. Moving away from that approach into what Fantastic Four will probably be, massive intergalactic threat ending with multiversal crossover, culminating with Doctor Doom post-credits appearance, that's going to be less interesting and way more generic. But so of course they went with that instead.
Yeah, it's wild how quickly my excitement for this kind of dwindled. I was really hoping that like Marvel finally learned their lesson, because they didn't do anything horrible with like Deadpool and Wolverine. And I gave Captain America 4 a pass because that had been in production for like fucking ever. And this is it's been in production for FF's been in production for like 2 years. Captain America 4 had been announced like 6 years ago. So, but here we go again. It feels. I really don't think I give a shit about this movie at this point. So
No, I mean I'm slightly interested, but only because it's it's the first one properly set in a different universe with what they want obviously to be the core cast of characters going forward. So like it has way more to do, and that means it's got so much more it can fuck up, which is kind of what makes me interested, as opposed to Thunderbolts, which is going to be an also there thing. It's just hey, these guys, remember all of the guys from the stuff that no one liked, they're back. Hooray. And rounding off phase 5 is Ironheart. We get Ironheart before we get Fantastic Four. So there's plenty to look forward to before we get there.
Do you remember the trailer?
Ironheart. My God.
The trailer, she goes, sometimes good people steal.
What?
I've
wait.
not
This
seen the trailer.
Ironheart trailer
like
out?
cereal.
Yeah, there was one a while ago. During
Okay,
the
like
D20.
Reaper, like caramel corns. You say, like, is that good
Pretty
to
much.
steal? Would you say?
Well,
Oh, man.
again, you're just gonna have a bunch of kids stealing shit, being assholes, and they're going, "We're heroes."
Ironheart is. That's my Snow White. Like,
It's
like legit. I really hope. It's as horrible as I think it's gonna be.
When
like,
is that coming out? I
fascinating.
forget.
This
I didn't even
year.
know. I want to watch
July.
that trailer like live or something. I would react to that.
Probably
June
autumn.
24th. Oh, not too much longer
June.
from now. We get to see Ironheart. June 24th, everybody.
She's so
Hasn't
awful.
this been finished since like 2023. They've
Yeah.
sat on this.
It's been out since like fucking phase 3 or something.
Oh.
I don't know. They've been sitting on this movie forever, it feels like.
Do you guys think they'll release all the episodes like at once, like Echo, or release it week by week?
I don't think they want to hide
Ooh.
it like Echo. I think they're gonna try to.
Oh.
I think they're proud of this character. I don't think they would have held on to it this long.
I think they should want to hide it. I think they
Yeah.
held on to it so long because of the fact they know it's not going to be well received. And they are too proud. They're not WB, so they won't, just eat this fucking thing like they should, but they will dump it out.
If they released Agatha, I think they'll release Ironheart. The
Yeah.
one who really want to dump out is Echo, because who gives a fuck? She's not even like next to
Didn't
them, like
Agatha? I completely forgot her name then, even though you just said it. Didn't that do good numbers for them? Because
No,
Wang
I
Long's
think
watched
it's
it.
just because it's compared to Daredevil, it looks
Yeah.
like the numbers are good.
Ah,
It did
okay, yeah.
relatively well. It's like in the same way that I think I said this on EFAP on Saturday. Like I looked at Daredevil when I went to catch up on the episodes, and Daredevil I think was like the 4th most watched thing on Disney Plus that week. That's an indictment of Disney Plus. That's not a praise of Daredevil. That just shows how few people are watching anything on that platform.
Mhm.
So Agatha did better than Daredevil Born Again did, which is shocking. But doesn't actually mean Agatha did particularly well. I've got 11 million views in my head. That might be roughly Agatha's opening week, maybe? I can't remember. It's around that figure. It was like around the same as the opening for The Acolyte, I think. And then that was, of course, wildly successful, and it got a second season, as everybody knows.
As everyone knows.
Isn't it? It's basically a downwards trend. Every original Marvel show does worse than the last.
Mhm.
They don't know how to make TV shows. They just don't.
No. Secret Invasion was mind-boggling. I couldn't believe they made a show this bad. And there's so many. Like She-Hulk, every episode was just like a fever dream. Like, what? Why would you make this completely? And yeah, they haven't got. I think the first 3 episodes of WandaVision is the only thing they came close to like anything artistic. Really can't think of anything they've done that has been. Even the fights have gone to shit. Like, when's the last Marvel fight scene you really enjoyed?
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Because in
oh my
Daredevil, it's just terrible CGI.
Holy shit! Yeah,
You can't even tell if it's real actors or not because they put in that stupid smoke screen which hides most of the stuff.
CGI smoke, crappy plastic looking actors, and turning Matt's powers on and off, literally ignoring the people in the room as he throws Bullseye through the door and then just lets the people pretty much die instead of hearing that. Even though he can hear the heartbeats. Like it's so stupid. I hate when powers get turned on and off. Matt has not been in character since the Spider-Man scene in No Way Home when he caught the thing.
Yeah.
You remember that? That's the last
I'm
time
inclined to agree with this comment that the last fight in No Way Home, like both Green Goblin fights, I remember very well. Those are fantastic.
I remember. Wasn't there a bridge fight with him and Dr. Octopus? Is that
Yeah,
the same
that
one?
was really cool too. Yeah,
It might
3
be No Way
fights in
Home.
that movie. Yeah,
Might have been No Way Home. That's it.
Yep.
Shang-Chi had one good fight with some
The
guy
bus
with a
fight?
dagger.
I forget that movie exists.
a guy with a dagger on like a construction site, I think.
The bus.
EFAP talked
Oh,
about it.
like on the side of the building.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. I'll give it
So
to you. It was
cool we
kind of cool.
forgot.
We kind of forgot about it though, so it's not very memorable.
That's what I mean. That's the most like forgettable movie in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Mine-
think like more recent. What was more recent, Shang-Chi or No Way Home?
I think
can't
they were
remember.
the same year.
They blurred together now.
Yeah.
Well, the
so many.
Marvels fights when they were fighting the girl with the grill, like that was like some of the bottom of the barrel.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
That's how bad it was when the Marvels fucking Afro chick and Kamala Khan and Brie Larson fought the light skinned chick with fucking fronts. Nobody knows her name.
I'm memory hold
Darth
actually.
Ben. Was that
Darth
the one?
Ben, yes, her. That movie sucked so badly. Most people did, but yeah, that's probably some of the worst MCU choreography you're ever gonna see.
Well, besides MCU news, we do have other topics on hand, including this piece of shit that still just keeps on going. It only fell 50% weekend over weekend, which is just fucking mind-numbing. I haven't hated that a movie's successful probably ever, except this one.
That's a good point.
I
Michael
hate
Bay
that this
movies,
movie's
maybe?
successful. Now, Michael Bay, you know what? He's like the less offensive Zack Snyder.
Leave him be.
Just let him be, man.
At least he's got
Just
more
let-
self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Just let Baby Bay.
yeah.
I don't know. I hated the last night, but yeah.
This was a crazy quote. Warner Brothers execs credit Minecraft's box office success to the power of creativity and the strength of great storytelling. Two
Oh,
things
fuck
this
off.
movie lacked.
How do you say that? Unless you don't know what those things mean. Like, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah.
There is no self-awareness around this movie.
Not even out of the people who hate it. They don't even know why it's successful.
Yeah, it's so. It's a strange phenomenon, man. What is happening?
Yeah. If
This movie
anyone needs proof that Warner Bros. Execs live in a bubble, this is it. Right? Completely unaware of what a good story is, even if it hit them in the face.
They
know what
literally,
annoys me?
with this quote, they literally do not understand why this movie's successful because there's no fucking way you can watch Minecraft and be like, those are the two reasons, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
There is no story in the Minecraft movie, so it can't be great storytelling. Like, what is the story? People go to the overworld because a blue box that they found randomly dragged them there. They go to a place, they get another box, and they leave. And that's kind of it, really.
Yeah,
There's not a huge amount more going on.
I don't remember much
The
else.
power of storytelling is so great. In the bit which the movie sets aside to give characters their dreams and aspirations at the beginning, they completely forget to give one to one of the characters, the sister character. There's a whole section of the movie at the beginning where it's the only reason it exists is to say, this is what Aquaman wants, this is what the kid wants, this is what the happy black lady wants, and this is, these are their dreams that are being crushed by reality or whatever the fuck. The sister, who's supposed to be an important character, they forget that she's there. And then halfway through the movie, they think, okay, she punched a pig. This makes her like martial arts. So now she wants to teach self-defense. What the fuck is this? These are not characters.
She, with elite skills, destroyed like a whole group of pigs. Like, she was like the greatest warrior in the history of Minecraft out of nowhere. You know? Oh,
It's
man.
understanding
I don't know.
characters' motives is what is the thing that makes something like a film like this memorable and relevant. So if you asked anyone why Woody doesn't like Buzz at the beginning of Toy Story, pretty much anyone can tell you because they're actually characters. If you ask anyone about the Minecraft movie, by the end of the Minecraft movie, why does the sister open self-defense class? They won't be able to say what the reason is, because the reason is there is a single line in the movie where Happy Black Lady says, "Hey, you're good at this," and she says, "Yeah, I don't know where it came from," and that's it.
They don't even elaborate on that. They develop it in the conversations that they have going forward. Like, you could do something with it throughout the movie, even if you're gonna bring it out of nowhere. But it's one of the cheapest character arcs you'll ever see in your life. It's nothing. And what you're saying is, I think the one thing that the Thunderbolts has a chance of doing, a little bit of character, a little bit of backstory, a little bit of understanding their motives, and maybe a few good jokes and like 2 good fight scenes. The movie can work. It doesn't need much.
My
But-
only takeaway is, thank God, this movie most likely isn't going to hit $1 billion.
Really?
Is it not?
You don't think so?
No, because its domestic and international splits are basically 50-50, and there's no way it's going to hit 500 million domestic, even with these awesome drops. Like, it's just...
I thought it was outperforming Mario, though, isn't it? And Mario hit $1 billion, and it hasn't. Has it even opened yet in, say, like South Korea and China?
Yeah, that's the answer right there. If it is, I don't know the answer. I just look at the split, and if it's 50-50, it's normally, that's
What is it worldwide? Is it
it's at 550 right now. Yeah. I mean, it'll probably come close, but because of that 50-50 split, that means it has to make over $500 million domestic, and that would make it one of the biggest domestic box office hits of all fucking time.
Great.
I just want to
That's
say,
just sad.
if you like this movie, I hate you. People go to the theater bringing fucking chickens, throwing popcorn, being assholes. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I used
This
to
is
work at a cinema, and I'm glad I don't work at cinemas anymore.
Yeah,
Hearing the
crazy.
horror stories of going on of the screenings of this film. The thing is, like, I love Minecraft. I played it a lot in my childhood. And this could have been good. You could have taken a much more fantasy approach to it. Some of the earlier concept art for it suggested that there was like Alex in there and an Ender Dragon. Yeah, it was going to be a much more fantasy-like approach. But instead, Hollywood seems to have this enormous, I don't know, fetish of, oh, and then the portal opens and the live action characters meet a animated character. They do it with Smurfs, Sonic, nearly everything. It was just a bland slop approach to Minecraft, and like Reaper, I hate it.
They kind of I suspect they might even have understood that the reason it is such an empty film and the reason there are no characters is that they thought sitting there, and they had 11 fucking years to write this movie. 11 years, and this is what we got. I think they sat there and they thought, if we actually give people a specific story with specific characters, it might alienate some of the audience. What we want is this to be as empty as possible, so everyone in the audience can be in exactly the same position of looking at the screen, seeing things they recognize, and remembering shit that they liked playing, and that's kind of it. And it works this time, but the success of the movie then has nothing to do with the movie, and it makes you wonder how successful the inevitable Minecraft 2 will be. If effectively it's been sustained by memes, and memes are coming, and like all the theater behavior is people's assumption that the Minecraft movie itself will be empty and pointless. So the memories they're trying to create are stuff that they do themselves, sitting in their seats. They will remember the experience of watching it. But by the time the memes have died, and by the time the hype's gone and the momentum's gone, will people want to do this again in anything like the same numbers? Or will Minecraft 2 actually be a significant drop-off? Because we've done that now. It's like if you did a Barbie 2, it's not going to recapture the Barbenheimer thing because that was an organic meme. The memes don't last forever. So what happens next?
What do you mean, Platoon? It did great for Morbius. I mean, the memes skyrocketed in the box office.
Yeah, but the sustainability, you can't sustain a franchise through memes. Like, it can work once, like a good smoke trick, but like you actually have to tell a story next time. And we saw that with
No, they don't.
Forever. That's what I mean. They have.
They know.
I don't think
know
it works
to
twice to the
assholes
same
don't.
degree.
They don't have to tell a story. They didn't tell a story the first time. They know that dickheads are going to show up, fucking buy overpriced popcorn and throw it at the movie screen because they're assholes. All the people there are just there to say that they've been the Minecraft movie. Nobody gives a shit about this movie. They just care about telling other people that they went to see the Minecraft movie. This is all this isn't a movie. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's all meta bollocks that I fucking despise.
And it is like when people say, no, it doesn't have to be intelligent, it doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to have really great writing, it's just a fun movie. It's not a fun movie.
It's
you
not.
might have had fun because of the friends you went to see it with, because you were throwing popcorn around the theater, but the movie itself has nothing to do with that. The movie just is there. It's the excuse for you to go and behave like an ape. That's the fun thing. The movie itself is just fucking filler. All the way through.
Yeah, I dare anyone who enjoys this movie to make a statement about why they like it that isn't that doesn't have something like, well, when they did the thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, try watching this by yourself and actually enjoying it without the hype of the theater and all your friends around you and whatnot.
I really like Chicken Jockey. Take out them doing the thing and tell me what you fucking like about this piece of shit. You can't.
And where would you rank this among some of the worst adaptations in terms of not working unless you actually know the content? Because like most things, like I always reference Arcane as you can watch Arcane without seeing League. It's an easy one. This is the opposite of that. I'm just like, none of this works. Like unless you understand the references from the game, it's worthless. And they did
filming myself taking a shit would be a better movie.
Same result at the end.
What? Okay, I'm not even gonna get into that stupid person.
Yeah. Wasn't someone from The Office in this film originally as well? I can't remember what his name was. Voices grew. What's his name? He was in The Office. I'm blanking on his name. He was originally in the film.
Yeah, he probably wiped his ass with the script, and they went, "Great, it's perfect for ready to make."
It was being made for like 10 years, and so many names were attached to it. Steve Carell, yeah, he was attached to this.
He was in this movie. Oh shit!
Yeah,
supposed to be in the movie.
It's supposed to be. And at some point, they fired him. They didn't know what they were going to do with this film at all, for years and years.
Yeah, no, they had so many. I mean, there's so many different ideas kind of scattered around in the film we actually got as well. It's
They end up with this.
yeah, you
comment.
failed terribly. No, it's under kids don't know any better, right? I understand kids going and having fun, but then I think we, because Greg Owen was on last week when we were discussing it, and then I'll give even kids like 4 or 5 days, and they'll sour on it a little bit. That they'll downgrade it from a 10 to a 5, and then they won't be able to tell you what happened. It's kind of understood that kids are not necessarily the best judges of quality, which is why you choose good things for kids to watch, ideally. And the argument, it's just a thing for kids, just let them have fun with it, is not particularly useful, because you can also have fun watching good things that take themselves seriously and have important messages and tell stories well that the kid will remember growing up, which is why I use Toy Story as the example, but I could also use Jurassic Park as the example,
Lion
Puss in
King.
Boots: The Last Wish, The Lion King, all the great old ones that were fantastic kids movies, the fantastic movies generally, and memorably fantastic movies that actually allow people to have fun and learn shit. That's kind of the best scenario. So yeah, the argument is for kids and it doesn't have to be good is never going to wash on this channel, I'm
Hate
afraid.
that so much.
Now, I think that you are allowed to enjoy slop. Let me just say that, because we brought Mahler on for Friday the 13th Part 8, which I fucking adore that piece of shit. But if $1 billion worth of people liked it, I think I would question what the fuck is going on, because it's like this weird niche thing that made like no money and not a lot of people like it. And but like, if like 50 million people enjoyed Friday the 13th Part 8, I'd start questioning.
yeah. Usually these slap movies aren't going to be massively popular.
Usually the
they have
human
this
race,
following. Yeah. And like what Tuna was saying, the people who say that are people who don't have any appreciation for storytelling and how much you can get from storytelling. They treat it as content, a distraction. We're plugging in the kids so we don't have to think about them for half an hour. There's nothing that you can get out of it. It's the same slop. It's the people who don't see the difference between the Lord of the Rings and the Rings of Power. What do you mean? It's Lord of the Rings. It's Tolkien. It's the same. Like, it's all the same to them. They don't get writing. They don't get characterization. They're just. It's like they're numb when they're watching a story. I don't understand it. But yeah, that's the mind state that is screwing us up more than anything.
It's give kids some credit. They're not that stupid. You can write something smart, something good.
For sure.
Would any of you guys here like this movie if you were 13?
No.
No.
I'm 3. I think I would still be bored. Like, there's nothing appealing. It's ugly on top of all that. It's not funny.
Yeah, I find it visually appalling. I think it's like puke worthy. It looks like shit.
They tried to like keep the square. Like, people were really speculating, what is this film going to look like? Are they going to go hyper realistic, or are they going to keep like the cube format? They probably should have done animation, if I'm honest, without any live action.
What do you think? You think the villagers are going to look like actual people or something with giant blockheads?
With a giant nose as well and doing trade.
What was that? What was that whole segment where the fucking woman marries the villager?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, someone that's there thought this is funny, so we'll do it, and then we'll do it again, and then we'll do it again, and then he can be voiced by Matt Berry because that's funny and everyone likes him in the end. It's just
Matt Berry was going to play Steve.
Was he? That would have made the movie better, but then Matt Berry makes most things better. I even quite liked the last villager scene just because it's Matt Berry. It's just that's the level we've got to now. Man has funny voice is the best thing in the movie.
Exactly. What do you mean?
God.
Jack Black is hilarious. All right.
Oh
guys?
God, yeah. Just watching him sort of fast forwarding toward a massive coronary event every time he's in a scene. He goes so red when he delivers his lines as well. It's just like he's trying so hard. It's not good for your health.
He is going to have a stroke soon. But the problem is people won't know the difference if he's acting or not.
What was the last good thing Jack Black was in?
Kung Fu Panda?
No, Kung Fu Panda 4 was terrible.
No, not the fourth one.
Yeah,
Fuck that movie. Number 1 was good.
I don't even know.
1 was good, 2 was good, 3 was meh, 4 was terrible.
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal or School of Rock or something. Like, basically in his, like...
2000s.
Yeah, that's when he actually did worthwhile
King
stuff.
Kong. Yeah, he was in that. I see someone in chat.
Like
saying
even
Ping
compare Shallow Hal to Minecraft. Like that movie actually had an important message, as goofy as some of it was. Like there's a lot you can take
did.
from that for life. What are you gonna get from the Minecraft movie? Like you're gonna forget things like from the Minecraft movie. You know what I mean? You're gonna lose.
What you're going to learn is it's okay to play video games and become a fat piece of shit because it'll just work out for you in the end because the
Yeah,
plot
almost-
needs it to.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost not though, because like weirdly, the only thematic through line in the movie is actually, playing video games is what fat, lazy, cowardly nerds do, and you shouldn't do it. Says the Minecraft movie. So it's almost like if you are learning a lesson, it's no, don't go and waste time on the silly video game. You've got to go and be creative in the real world. It's just that easy. All the shit ideas you had at the beginning of the film, well, you've learned nothing in the intervening time, so now they work. The end. But by all means, don't stay and be creative in a Minecraft game, which in the movie isn't even a fucking video game world. It's just another aspect of reality. So when they say, why don't you use some of those skills in the real world? It already fucking is, because the movie doesn't know what it's done.
again, like I asked with like the Daredevil question. Dear writer, do you like superheroes? For this writer, dear writer, do you like video games?
Yeah, like what are you
Yeah.
doing, man? And that's the same thing that the video game era is stuck in. Just like treating it like a stupid game and it's just vapid nonsense that you don't get anything out of. Like all of the best gamers that I've seen throughout my entire life are all genuinely intelligent people. Like gaming is not easy. We're not talking about like Tetris here. You know what I mean? The idea that all gamers are just wasting their time, rotting their brain, and there's nothing you can get out of it. They treat it the same way they treat storytelling, as if you can't get anything, there's no benefits from it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
an
you didn't see
afterthought.
Doctor
Yeah.
Who. You did not see the newest Doctor Who, where a guy plays gaming, becomes a tyrant, comes king. They go, gamer, become king of this planet, and he goes, well, this is just like a normal game, and just starts fucking oppressing the people.
I just don't even know what to say when it comes to Doctor Who descriptions. Like every time I hear that show, it just seems like Black Mirror on crack, like just completely retarded. You know,
I'm
like
almost tempted to check it out at this point. I've heard so many things about
He
this. new one.
cries. Shutigawa cries again in the first 17 minutes. Honest to God, how has he not like died from dehydration? The guy cries every 5 minutes in every episode, which really shows how limited he is as an actor. Because that's all he does is just the one thing over and over and over again.
this is party trick, Millie Bobby Brown.
But like some woman, he goes, "Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm the doctor's friend," and I went, "She's gonna die." 2 seconds later, she gets shot, and he goes, "Sarah!" And then he starts crying.
Does he have
Like,
any talent as an actor, or is he just here to be the gay doctor?
He's just incredibly flamboyant or crying. That's it. That's his two
The
modes.
only option.
I'm not joking. That's all he does. He's like, "Hey, sister," and then he cries. He goes, "Ah," and he goes, "Hey, sister." That's just it. It's like he's schizophrenic. He just switches between the two modes.
Reaper. So how do they defeat the king of incels and planet of incels? Do they arrange
Well-
like a date? They kind of do a
Well,
dating
they do
games or
time
anything like
cop
that?
rules,
Ah,
but-
okay.
but they don't because it's stupid. So very quickly, the new companion, the Indian woman, she causes the death of everyone accidentally because she gets on the incel she's going out with, so it doesn't really make him an incel if he's got a girlfriend, but that doesn't matter. So he buys her a certificate that says, "I bought you a star. This is your name." Somehow time shit, which is never explained because the new Doctor Who, the rules of time are fucked. That certificate of that star gets duplicated and sent to another planet 5,000 years in the past. It becomes a prophecy for that planet. So when it reaches the present, robots from that planet come pick up the woman and go, "You're going to be our queen." On the way, she goes through a weird time, wibbly wobbly shit. And she also goes, "Take the incel, not me. He's the one who bought the certificate." So when she gets taken to the planet, she somehow gets there late. So in the meantime, they go and get the incel who she said, get the incel. And he gets taken there, but somehow he gets there before she does. Again, doesn't make any sense. And then he becomes a tyrant on the planet, gets plugged into a machine and then goes, "I want McQueen," and then she finally gets there. I have no idea what I'm talking about at this point. That's how bad the script is. She finally gets there. They have 2 certificates because there's a duplication. And so she goes, time cop rules. If I touch his certificate with my certificate, they both should explode. But the 2 certificates don't explode. The incel gets turned into a sperm and an egg. And the doctor who's holding on to her goes, "Ow, that hurt." And that's how the episode
I
ends.
thought Mr. Brown was lying in his comment. I thought he was just joking. And
No,
then you fucking
real.
actually say it.
That's real.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Black Mirror on rocks. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's just, this is not what you do with sci-fi. Calm the fuck down.
That was a very fast summed up
What
bit.
the
Because honestly, the
fuck?
problem is they do this every time. Every season, they introduce a time problem. Oh, time doesn't work normally. And they only explain it to the last episode. So all the problems in the writing, you can't tell until the last episode, which retroactively goes back and destroys the other episodes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they've introduced this problem. They won't explain it to the last episode, so you can't really call it a giant plot hole until you get the explanation.
That reminds me of the fuckery of like Loki season 2, where it's so broken that you just stop caring. But at least that show kind of had good actors to kind of carry, like Tom Hiddleston busting his ass, and I can never remember the other guy's name. He was like the buddy cop.
Owen
What the hell's
Wilson.
his name? Owen Wilson. He was great. Like,
Wow.
I actually liked those 2 together, but the show's crap. This seems like that without the charm of the actors to keep you entertained. Is that what I'm getting at?
Oh, that's it's so no, the actors, the writing, the characters. The only thing you can really get enjoyment out of is some of the set designs and the robots.
Mm.
But again,
Russell was-
it's the 80s, 70s type of style. You've seen it a million times before.
Hmm.
Russell was so much better as a writer when he actually had limitations.
They aren't all
Isn't it
writers?
crazy?
That's what made Cameron popular, right? Like, yeah, man.
Well, that sounds fucking interesting.
He becomes a sperm and an egg because 2 diplomas touched, which was supposed to explode, but they didn't.
What the fuck?
Don't let the tips touch.
I got a headache from that show.
God, that thank you for that recap, Reaper. That makes me really want to watch that.
100%. You're right on it.
I'm sold. I don't know about you guys.
The next episode, they're animated.
No.
Wait,
They
really?
become 2D. They go back to the 1950s, and then this cartoon character goes, "You're going to be
Why
animated." and then-
1950s?
I don't know.
God, this
Yeah,
show
the show
sounds
just
so fucking random.
It is because they introduced this time fissure, and then stupid shit keeps happening. That's the problem.
It's just an excuse to write weird shit. That the chat
Yeah.
was more confused than all of us, I think.
Well, there's so many things you can do with sci-fi, and this is where we're at. Just
I'll
fucking
make a
around.
video.
right?
I don't
But
know.
that's the problem. Time has rules like chicken and egg paradoxes and stuff, but they just go fuck it. We don't care anymore. Like in the Christmas special, he gets a code to the safe. He tells himself he's got a box that's going to explode. He gets the code from his future self. He then gets sent to the past, and you'd think that is when he gets the code, but he doesn't. He just tells himself it, and I go, well, that's not the closed loop fucking time rule. You can't just think the number up out of fucking thin air. But they do it all the time in New Who. It's so stupid.
I'm glad I don't watch that show. In other news, we have our race swap snake official. That was just confirmed. And yeah, the Harry Potter HBO series
Why are
has
they doing this?
officially cast their Snape. He looks just as described in the book.
Perfect. Oh my
Mirror
god.
image.
Someone in the chat just said Snape Dog, and I was just like, "Yep, that's the one. That's the one." Like, why would they even anticipate these things? Like, before you name your child, you should think about what, like, shitty names people can rhyme with it to make fun of them, and just don't screw them for life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, this is different. You have all look at the picture, man. How the fuck did you cast this guy? It's just stupid. It's one of the worst examples because there's absolutely no justification for it.
A friend of mine over the weekend sent me an AI made succession of skits, effectively with Black Snake being just like this gangster, and the jokes are hilarious, but I can't repeat them on stream. But he didn't even know that this was a thing because he doesn't like follow the pop culture shit. So it's like, so I said, like that is actually kind of that's happening now. And he said, what? Fucking no way. But yes, way, it is happening. The meme is well in advance of reality. I can't wait to see how this pans out.
Maybe Harry Potter will be black.
Hopefully.
Oh my god.
There's 2 story points in Harry Potter I wanted to mention because if they race swapped any other character, they'd probably get away with, but now you have to kind of eliminate certain plot points. So I remember a scene, I think it was in the book as well, where James Potter bullies Snape, and he does a levitating spell and hangs his leg by a tree.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no!
That's what I'm saying. Now everyone, the domino effect.
That gonna work? And there's also a scene where I think Neville says that he's like scared of Professor Snape, and they're doing like the boggart testing. So. What are you assuming there, Neville? Are you kind of do you have a problem with the teacher?
The boggart's actually a test of unconscious bias, is what it is. Okay,
what is this actor bringing to this role? That like
his skin color
thing. That's it. It's crazy. Like I think I referenced the Luffy actor for One Piece actor. He doesn't look exactly like Luffy from the show, but he really captured the tone of Luffy, his enthusiasm, and like, you know what? I can see why this guy was casted, even if he doesn't really match. I'm not sure what this guy is gonna bring. Like, I'm not super familiar with Snape's character, but I do remember he had a very specific brooding tone to him. Is he going to try to do his own version of that, or is he trying to actually? I don't know what the fuck they're thinking with this. It's the complete
black girl magic.
Well, you'd expect them to try and keep the characterization the same, given the whole reason for making this show was that they were able to do the books even more faithfully than the movies did. So that you wouldn't expect them to change the characterization, except beyond the actor bringing a certain amount of his own mannerisms to the thing. But surely the character will be roughly the same. You would hope.
It is funny how they made the one black guy a simp who pines after a woman who died 30 years ago.
Oh jeez.
Do you guys like? Do you guys they'll lean more into him being a good guy all along, kind of angle, rather than he's not a black and white character. Or play on words, I know, kind of thing. Because you're kind of supposed to like debate. Oh, what was he truly a good person, or was he just kind of?
You need talent. You need talent to make great characters. Like you to make character morally ambiguous characters like that. It's I don't know. You actually need to know what you're doing, and if your priority is Black Snape, how much faith am I going to have in your abilities to write him? You know, like how much do you really understand the character if you think this is a good decision?
I just want to know, what is Snape cooking in potions class?
Because they've changed his race, I doubt that they'll paint him in a bad light.
Probably not, but it will be quite funny because Snape all the way through the books is incredibly salty because the job he always wanted was defense against the dark arts, but he's not allowed to get it. So there's plenty of jokes you can make about that when he's turned down by Dumbledore and when he applies for the 5th time.
That's another thing. Yeah,
this is going to be the swap as well, you guys.
Or gay
not
for
gonna,
James.
yeah.
Oh,
Is
wow.
Lily
gay for James.
Is Lily going to be bullying him? And he keeps trying to rape James.
Or calling him like an incel, like in adolescence. Yeah.
See how our theories don't involve like good storytelling at all? It's just complete fast, like just giving up. This is what it does. Like, how can you anticipate a story or get excited for it when you see this. It just immediately becomes a meme fest. So they should know
But
that.
it is kind of the best case scenario for them is that they do just then go on to adapt the books basically 1-to-1, and they accept that there will be memes made of certain of the plot points within it. But at least that proves they're not trying to make any other kind of point by doing like the race swapping of the casting and stuff like that. So like best case scenario, unintentional comedy on the part of the writers. I think. I mean, there's some other casting that makes a lot more sense. Like I can kind of see Nick Frost as Hagrid. I think that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
And
John Lithgow is Dumbledore.
John Lithgow's Dumbledore. I think Paul
He can do
Whitehouse is
anything.
playing Filch as well, who's I quite
Yeah.
like Paul Whitehouse. So like some of those make a lot of sense, and I'm kind of interested to see what the rest of the cast ends up being.
It'd be funny, all the Death Eaters are around one table, and he's the only black guy there. And they go, "Why are you here? Because we need representation."
No, I was gonna say, I made fun of Corlys Valerian before House of the Dragon came out. I'm like, fucking Rastaman Targaryen. Like, what are you trying to do? This is a joke. But then they made it work with writing and great acting. So I'm willing to eat my words. I just don't think this is going to be another one of those situations.
Is the actor even British?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know anything else he's been in. That's the thing. I've never heard of him before this. So
Papa Isidu.
But the funny thing is, though,
Yes,
is
he's
that
British.
Okay.
I hope he's super offended. It was, it's the dark arts, and he goes, "Motherfucker, what?
That's what they're
Black
gonna do.
magic? Is that what you're saying?"
Oh my god, don't do that, please. Why? I hope that's not what they're planning.
I hope he is so stereotypical.
Just fully lean into it. Yeah.
Fuck.
This is probably the worst case scenario of like, if you did like a roulette wheel, okay, which character are we race swapping? This is probably the worst pick to land on. In terms
Yeah,
of
We
he's
haven't
got
seen
the
Ron. We know.
But yeah, he's a
Hollywood hates
ginger. He's in
gingers.
trouble, dude.
Oh, he's done. He's done. Stick a fork
His
in him.
entire clan will be Asians.
Do you think not putting Adam Driver is just a colossal fuck up? Like when you would dream for that type of casting. Like just you don't even
That
have to
is
think
so
about it.
true.
He's just born for it. We don't even have to fix his hair. He'll just show up on set.
Yeah.
You're good, bro. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
The fact that that's not being prioritized, like the idea of hunting for good casting isn't like a thing anymore. I don't like that. Because when you see a character that you love adapted and casted perfectly, it's so satisfying. It's an unbelievable experience. And just no, I don't know. Adam Driver just wasted away. I don't know what that guy's doing now with his career. It's a shame because this could have been a big break for him.
They didn't hire him because he's not British, so they hired a black.
But Dumbledore actor isn't British either. So
Oh yeah, John Lithgow. Yeah, forgot about
He can
that.
do anything though. He can do
He
anything.
does no
He's awesome.
consistency.
Yeah.
the casting has been wishy-washy at
How
best. I mean,
old?
I like Nick Frost, so maybe
How old is John Lithgow? Isn't he like 80?
80. Yeah,
pretty
so
old.
So maybe
He
he'll
did-
die during filming as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, during Third Rock from the Sun, and that was like a sitcom when I was a little kid.
I
Oh,
hope.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
79.
He was
I hope he gets
hesitating.
replaced by a
Yeah,
black guy. Halfway through, it's a black Dumbledore.
They did that with Batwoman. Like, why not?
no one will know the difference.
I got a 10. Okay, let's leave it.
He really was an alien after all. He came back and just shapeshifted into a black guy. And in other news, has anyone started this show?
yes,
I didn't even know it was out.
they came
Yeah,
out
episode
today. I
1.
think.
Yep, is out. Episode
Ah.
1.
Hmm.
There's that face she always makes.
Wow.
Well, it's her face.
Where is her face? That's the only one she can make. That's it. It's stuck.
One of her two emotions. Amazing.
I think she improved her acting over the first season. The beginning, she was trash. Towards the end, she did pretty good. But I will never defend her casting. She looks nothing like Ellie. The chick from Romulus in the Romulus getup, literally with the gun and everything. Like she looks so much more like Ellie. It's crazy. I don't even know her name, but yeah.
Why
cast
not
better.
recast for season 2? I mean, it's a much older Ellie. It would still make sense.
And people would not care. Like they'd be like, you know what,
Exactly.
fuck it. Just
Yeah, in the first episode, it goes 5 years later, and she has not changed one
Yeah.
bit. It's like she's frozen in time.
Reaper, do we get a bigger sandwich in the first episode?
I'm only halfway through. I only got to the
Ah.
bit where Joel cries in therapy.
Yeah,
No,
that's
awesome.
There's a couple of like very big standout bits like that. Like the first one that made me just audibly laugh was like she's in sort of combat training.
Oh
And
God!
she's 3 foot tall, and she's fighting a guy who's like 7 foot tall.
Oh, for
He's
fuck's
huge,
sake, man.
and she beats him quite easily with a
Oh,
move
she
that
makes him
would not
submit.
work. And like, I'm not an expert fighter. If she tried that on me, I could lift her up with one arm. It's not how this is gonna happen.
Yo, the G20 is gonna give you a fucking heart attack, Platoon, because you got grandmas fucking smashing armed guards and SWAT team and shit. It's insane. Like they took the energy of the end echo scene with the grandma beating people up and just injected into a film. Like G20 is like, oh.
Platoon, are you going to be covering that on EFAP? I wonder. G20.
I don't know. I've been told not to watch it in
Waller
case
was right.
in case we do cover it, but
got that
not for
right.
like a breakdown. So like it might come up at some point. I don't know.
He was
it's
totally
terrible.
right. If you can avoid it, Platoon, it probably is. Your live reactions would be better suited for that.
Yeah, that's
specifically.
the idea, I think.
Yeah, he's 100% right on that. So if you can avoid it, and even the memes, it's just yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, you're a good fit for that.
Unlike this though, which I will be watching and have started watching. I did only second monitor it because I had a load of other shit, as is always the case I had to do. But yeah, it hasn't. I think it's doing better than The Last of Us season 1 in terms of its opening, but that's kind of what you'd expect, given that season 1 was quite successful. It's not gripping me in anything like the same way as season 1 did. That might be because I sort of know roughly where it's going, but it's also, I think, because like not a huge amount happens. A lot of the stuff that does happen is a little bit silly. I'm bored of seeing characters go to therapy and crying. That's tedious. And you'd think of all the classes of people to get rid of in a post-apocalypse, therapists would be top of that list.
100%.
And then characters doing like slightly stupid things, and then for slightly clumsy way in which they try to remind people of the basic setup of the character, like having Ellie stomping around in the middle of the wilderness screaming, "I've been bitten, I'm immune," to remind the audience that she's been bitten and she's immune, because we need that kind of thing. Yeah, and then there's the bit where like she and her girlfriend, like they illegally kind of go into this house that's infested without first clearing it, and then they get dragged before like some kind of tribunal. And her defense is, well, Joel does it all the time. And then his brother says, well, that's different. And then the judge woman who's sitting next to him, who's in charge, turns to him and says, why is it different? So, well, because she's 3 foot tall. She's a kid. Obviously, it's different. I know what you're trying to do, show. You're trying to say it's bad. You would assume it's different just because she's a girl. But she's tiny. So of course it's fucking different.
It's like,
But
what are
don't
we
you
doing?
see? She can already beat up men 7 times her size.
Yeah,
She makes him submit. He literally keeps tapping her on the shoulder because she's got him in a fucking armbar.
So Platoon, you watched the episode and Reaper watched a bit of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys get the impression that they'll kill off Joel in the first 3 episodes? Or is it really slow?
It's hard to
It's
say.
pretty
I
slow.
assumed they wouldn't do that. However, the people who will do it are quite nearby already. So, like, my assumption is, because I think they want to spin this out into more than just 2 seasons, that they will probably try and keep that for later on. However, that means they're going to have to try and find something with which to distract the group that is currently approaching them, because they're already in basically eyeline sight at this point at the end of the episode. So it could happen pretty quickly. But you imagine they can fill some time and have to plan and, you know, try and get them alone and all the rest of that stuff. So it's possible that they'll delay it.
Well, they'll take the scenes from the end of the game, you know, when she complained how her death should have mattered, and they'll just put that in the first few episodes, I think. It's boring as fuck so far.
I'm really wondering, how similar is this going to be to the game? Because Neil Druckmann said, "Oh, the story is perfect. We're so proud of it. Blah blah blah. We're going to adapt it scene for scene." I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, we've seen the casting for Abby. She's not roided out. She looks like an actual female. So that's already one big change. I'm just wondering, what else are they going to change? Are they going to admit that they wrote a shit story with the second game?
Well, they've chucked in, because I've not played the second game, so I'm not the best judge of how well it matches. I think, is there a scene in the game where there's the like the dance, she's dancing with a kind of girlfriend at the bar, and some random homophobic man comes in just to be a homophobic dick, and then that's in there.
That's where
needed
the
that
bigot
scene.
sandwich comes from. Because at the
Ah.
very beginning,
They added
she
that.
said, at the very beginning, some guy goes, "I made you some steaks. Sorry for last night." And she goes, "What's that?" "Bigot sandwich." And then
Ooh.
later on, we find out he calls her a lesbian. The D word. I don't know if you lads. Dyke. Anyway,
I don't know if you're allowed. Let's have a go.
just went for it. He just for some reason goes, "Hey, I'm incredibly homophobic in this multiracial, multi-ethnic commune."
Oh
I-
man, so
This
forced.
place is more fucking liberal than like San Francisco.
And it's like
in the
you
apocalypse.
sort of understand why. So I think the excuse the writers would give for the scene being there is that it's that's less important than Ellie's reaction to it, because obviously Joel sort of steps in and pushes him over, and she says, "I don't need your fucking help." And so, well, I don't like you anymore, but also I see that that's kind of the point of the scene, is that you're trying to flesh out how their relationship has changed in the off-screen intervening period. There were probably better ways of doing that, and I don't think that scene really accomplished a huge amount, except to say, "Hey, bigots bad." Also, some story. I don't know. It's too soon to judge, right? I thought season 1 was okay. This one, I'm going to give it a few more episodes, and then I'll sort of start forming an opinion.
This one, you've got the the trial at the end, which is sexism. You've got that bit with the homophobia, and then at the little bit where what's his face, Marlene, she's talking to Joel, and he goes, "Well, we need to let refugees in," and Joel is saying, "No, we can't have refugees," and she goes, "Well, you were a refugee," which is like this most obvious fucking commentary you can possibly have. But it's like she tries to make like a pro-refugee message, Marlene, to Joel, but you go, Joel wasn't a refugee. He came there looking for Tommy, and then he immediately left. That's not a refugee. But they don't care. They just want a pro-refugee message in the show. It's fucking stupid.
They'll shove it in any way they can. It's so important to them. It's crazy.
But in the first 3 episodes, you've got 3 heavy-handed political messages and no story. Well, very little story.
I'm trying to pull up the casting for Abby. They nerfed her muscles, right? Did they say what?
They didn't nerf it. I think that I might have made this up. I'm sure I read somewhere that they tried to do, they did like a casting call, and they just couldn't find any real woman who looks like Abby.
Dude,
For the
that's
obvious reason that no real woman looks like Abby. You
No,
could
I
have
have
cast
2
what's her name
examples right
from
now.
fucking Emilia Perez. You could have cast her as Abby, but you're not going to find an actual woman who looks like that. So they just went with a normal looking one.
Oh, there's 2. We got 2 girls over here in Canada that are strong women: Sam Bellevue and Melissa Peacock. I tried this whole time. I'm trying to look up a picture for them. I sent the names.
What? That's not true. Remember what they used to say about Natalie Portman? How those muscles are real in Lady Thor.
Oh no, that's horse shit. That was nothing. But these are actual strong women that compete, and they could have played the role of Abby like to perfection. And that's my point with this is that's where they found the mountain for Game of Thrones. You go to strongman and powerlifting. They didn't even try. These 2 girls looked the part. They had the build and they could have played it. So it's frustrating to even see. But I think Cynic's gone. But I set the names in the chat if anyone wants to just take a peek. Because even if you just Google them 2 seconds, this chick could have played Abby. And
guys, the obvious choice for Abby was John Cena. All right, end of.
This chick looks like John Cena, like a blonde John Cena, like pretty much. Like I think you could cast it, Abby accurately, but they didn't even try.
What's him? Gina Carano. She's around. She needs work. Cast her.
Yeah. Even Gina. Gina could have been better than this chick that they pulled, but who knows?
Anyone.
Yeah.
Look up any sort of muscle.
Look up Melissa Peacock if anyone's in the chat is curious about, and tell me that chick couldn't have played a good Abby.
I wanted to mention as well, the game is basically an interactive film, right? And they were so proud of its story. And rarely ever do you get a second chance at telling that story again in a show. So with Last of Us Part 2, I'm just incredibly curious. Are they going to stick to the story? Or are they not going to?
I think so, but they're going to try and do it better. Like, they're going to try to make Abby less unlikable, because already they've already established that Abby is hunting for Joel, because in the game, your very first impression was Abby was this muscle-bound fucking hunk, whatever the fuck she was, and Joel rescues her, and then she beats him to death. there's no real way to make that character likable after such a horrific thing,
Yeah.
especially the shock. So they're already establishing that she wants to kill him and that he is responsible for killing people close to her. So I think they'll do it, but they'll try everything he possibly can to sell Abby as not a cunt, which is impossible.
It is tricky because like, there's the ego stake involved. If you make significant changes, you admit you got it wrong, and no one likes doing that, especially big famous writers who are kind of huffing their own farts for breakfast. So I can see that being the case, that they'll maybe change the ordering of events, give Abby more personality, give her some what the show considers to be justification in order to take the sting off it when she finally does smash his face in with a golf club. I don't necessarily think that's going to work. But it will be interesting to see, like the difference, because people were, very big on fidelity to games when it came to Last of Us Season 1, and people, I think, would now, by and large, hope that Season 2 is not quite so accurate to the game, because that will be the thing that gets it criticized. So, they won't change massive amounts, but they might change details, would be my assumption.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because I do think it might be somewhat of a controversial take. I do think there's a good story you can tell in Last of Us 2. But they just drop the ball at every chance, especially with the ending, where Ellie just doesn't take revenge after committing complete genocide all over the place. So I'm wondering, are they going to kill off Abby in the ending of this show as well? Or are they just going to leave every little bit untouched?
That ending will be the same.
I think they'd have to change it where you can actually have a relationship between why am I just blanking on these names here? Ellie and Abby, and go through their whole motives and characterizations, and then see Joel at the end and find out that this is the guy she was talking about the whole time. So you act like a conflict there of some kind.
Because the ending would be much more powerful if Ellie actually took the revenge, then went home, played her guitar with her, bitten off fingers, and she can't play the guitar anymore. Oh, okay, the revenge wasn't worth it. Revenge is bad. But she doesn't even take the revenge, so you can't really say that in the game that revenge is bad. She didn't take it in the first place.
It's actually the opposite. It's letting people live is bad. Abby letting Ellie live lets her friends die.
It's so stupid. Yeah. Who else is involved with the show? Craig Mazin? He did Chernobyl, I think, or produced it.
Maybe I don't know any of the other names. That sounds, I think I saw the credits. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I think he might be the reason for some story changes, because I think Neil Druckmann had complete control. He wouldn't change a thing, but maybe, I don't know, someone talked him out of it. Hey, maybe you could change this bit. But
I wouldn't, now we're talking about, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if the therapy thing comes back and they sort of use it to flesh out more of what Joel has done in the backstory, as that's like part of the lead up to what has to happen, which will happen. But that's it's an obvious place to stick that story information, so you get his perspective on bad things he's done, as well as the victim's perspective on bad things he's done, which would sadly make therapy once again a significant narrative beat in another TV show.
Oh no!
Everyone goes to therapy, don't you know?
Oh god!
Oh, Neil Druckmann.
Shit, though.
Yeah, Neil Druckmann had a recent quote where he says word for word, "Oh, I think Joel did the right thing in Last of Us Part 1. I think he was completely in the right," and he's so full of shit. He's completely lying in that quote. The second game seems to highly suggest that he disagreed with Joel's choice and just painted it in the worst light possible. So I kind of find it strange about his recent quote that he's saying completely the opposite thing.
Well, even in this show, when the therapist asks him, "What did you do to Ellie?" he cries like he's got guilt over it. When you killed a bunch of hospital people who wanted to fucking harvest a young girl's brain, fuck him.
Yeah.
Joel in season 1 was committed to that. He shouldn't be crying about that. The little I know about this character makes no sense. Yeah,
Joel would not feel the slightest amount of guilt. That's the whole Marlene stuff. When Marlene begs him, "Let me go," and he goes, "You just come after her." and just executes her.
Exactly. Oh my god, that scene was fantastic. For all the bitching about Joe's casting, I think Pedro nailed everything he needed to nail in that scene. The music, everything was on point. I was fully on board with him, and I was on his side. And I think the idea of him feeling any guilt from that scene is bullshit. He was fully committed. He knows what he did. He'd fucking do it again. Like,
He even says in Last of Us 2, if I had a chance to do it all over again, I wouldn't change anything.
yeah, he knows what decision he made, and that's just what I like about it. Like,
The right one.
commit. Yeah,
Yeah. The
I
vaccine
love
wouldn't
that
work.
scene. I fucking love that scene.
It'd only be used as a weapon, the vaccine. Even
No,
if
Dave
it
L.
was
The
a
music
vaccine.
was sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, Dave L. Pedro nailed the scene, and the music was fantastic. What? What? you talking about?
I actually think, like, I know people have Pedro fatigue. Watching season 2, episode 1 did remind me he is actually quite good in this, I think, and he's good in season 2 as well. He's well cast. It's just that he's cast in too many things is the problem. But he does. I sometimes forget that he does have some talent. Old Pedro Pascal. He's not just there because he's unthreatening and generic and ethnically ambiguous, so he ticks multiple boxes. He is quite a good actor when he needs to be. So I've been impressed with him so far, and I kind of hope they keep that up. But then they won't be able to if they do off him early on, will they?
That's why I'm wondering. I don't think they'd want. Like, I don't think Bella Ramsey can carry this show. So I think they want Joe around as much as they can.
I think there'll be. Sorry, I think there'll be a lot of flashback scenes because at the end of the day, there's not enough story for 3 seasons, which is what they've got. So there'll be plenty of, as Platoon was saying, like the therapy scene. I think that'll be after he dies, if we're going to see something like that. They're just going to constantly go back to Joel every episode. It'll probably be in like the first 10 minutes of every episode.
If the therapist like puts a camera in front of him and starts recording in the next episode, you know he's going to die soon because then they'll just be playing the video back as like segments of this is what he used to be.
They've greenlit a season 3, I think. I'm not entirely sure.
I thought I read that they were going for 3 or even 4, but it will depend sort of how well this one does. So if this one starts off well and falls off a cliff, or starts off well and then gets massive backlash, then they might reconsider. But then, if they are trying to spread out the story for the second game into multiple seasons, you don't really know exactly how far through the game we'll even get in this season. If it's only, by the looks of it on the screen, 7 episodes in this season, then there's probably maybe half at most of the game's storyline.
Well, it might be. I think episode 3 is when usually HBO, because you can they usually have a formula. Episode 3 is when something usually really bad happens, the audience attention moment. But this, which I think he'd be clubbed to death like a seal in episode 3. So I don't think we're even going to leave the fucking commune till like 4 or 5.
They're gonna drag this out.
Yeah, that's the whole thing I was thinking. Stretch it out, get as much Joel as you can.
Then again, the game was like an incredible slog to play. There's loads of filler in it. Doesn't Ellie and Dina go into like a room full of weed and weed plants?
Yeah,
and they get high in there. That was fun.
It's very Tumblr.
Yeah.
I hope they go to the synagogue and then he just gives her a big lecture on Jewish history. Where you couldn't shoot in the game.
What?
You couldn't in the game. You go into a synagogue and you're not allowed to shoot anything or set fire to anything in the building.
Wow.
Neil Druckmann forbids you from doing it.
It's like the anti-Assassin's Creed thing, because they had the opposite problem with the Shinto shrines, that you could go and trash them, and then people didn't like it, so they had to like change the game mechanic to stop you doing it. This is kind of solidifying my happiness I never got around to playing part 2. I mean, I don't think I ever quite finished part 1 because I got into it so late. And it's like, it is pretty, but it's a rail shooter. The story's good, but it's a rail shooter. Like, it's not the most satisfying gaming experience. And so it sort of lost my attention, especially since I'd already known what the story was going to be because the show had been out by that point.
Yeah, you could just watch like literally the cutscenes of the game and maybe like a playthrough on YouTube.
It's more removed from the game. Like, I just can't do the hallway stuff. Like, I like mechanics in video games. I want to actually feel satisfaction, That game just never appealed to me, or games like it for that reason.
I can't wait till we get to the religious group the sister wants to run away because she can't be a warrior, and the brother is a transgender.
Oh
And then
God.
Fat Geralt will just knock him out, and I'm going to be fucking applauding when that happens. I hope Fat Geralt hits him so hard he comes out of his shoes.
That's one thing they'll definitely change. Fat
Mm.
Geralt.
Oh, they're gonna,
Rest in peace.
Neil Druckmann is so spiteful. He will definitely get rid of Fat Geralt. He will definitely get rid of him. There's no way he's going to keep him. He's like the most mean character in the whole show.
Damn, like when these games released, they gathered such a reaction. And I don't feel like these Last of Us seasons are getting as popular of a reaction as to the games.
Well, you've kind of got the slightly weird Game of Thrones situation going on in the sense that because The Last of Us Part 2, the game came out and did sour so much of the audience on it, when the show finally sort of kicks off, even people who might be inclined to praise season 1 still know where it's going. So it's kind of hard to get massively enthusiastic about it because, in a sense, the choice has already been made and the choice has ruined it for a large number of people. So they'll probably judge it as a success if it's bringing in a large number of people who are not gamers, have never played the games, don't know anything about the games, and it's doing good numbers sort of amongst that demographic, because that suggests what they've got on their hands is just another good HBO drama show, and it's not relying on it being an adaptation to succeed.
What do you think the normal reaction's going to be from just average viewers? Do you think they'll be fine? If the story is identical and it's just as terrible, do you think they'll hate it, or do you think they'll actually like it?
They
don't
love Pedro
know.
Pascal.
Yeah, I mean, people
But
do
they want to
like
see him
it,
get
though.
punted? Like, I don't know. I don't see that payoff working for the casual fan.
But they love shock. They love random fucking shock horror shit. I have
Do
little
they?
faith in. Oh, I think they just want it. They'll go, "That's amazing! I didn't see that coming," and
Because
they'll ignore how retarded it was that he put himself in that situation.
Well, I just think there's more fans of people who like good twists that are set up like the Red Wedding than ones that are just there for shock. Like I know people will take something shocking almost no matter what, but like we've learned the difference, you know. Like those things don't really last on rewatch. Like the Red Wedding, you can
Minecraft has proven that wrong.
Well, let's have to ignore that for now. That film's just an anomaly, but you can rewatch season 3 and see the seeds for the Red Wedding throughout the entire time. Tywin writing letters all the time. It just makes it so much more satisfying. Where I don't know, I feel like we should give the casuals more credit than that. They know the difference, and this show doesn't seem like it's captured the public's imagination. They think that the way they thought it would.
Well, that's the thing. They'll wait till episode 2 or 3 to club them to death, and that'll be the big moment. It'll be all over in Twitter, be over Facebook. That's when the show becomes worldwide. I mean, it's already what Platoon. Did you say it's got more viewers this episode?
I think this one has a large number of viewers than the opening of season 1 did. I think.
So you've already got a bigger opening, and which means there's going to be more people to share it online when Joel dies. And that'll be the big, huge moment. It'll be like Red Wedding big. Won't be as good, but it'll be that popular.
It depends on how they do it. I really think it could potentially be huge, but I don't know.
It won't be good.
Yeah.
It'll just be popular. As we've learned recently, that's with Minecraft. Two different things.
Perfect example.
Will they make me care? That's the question. Because they made me care about Joel's relationship with Elliot towards the end of the show. Will they make me care about this payoff? Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry, I just got back, but there was one more thing I wanted to touch on today, actually. Something cool. American Psycho turned 25 years old yesterday. This is from yesterday.
Nearly as old as I am. Wow.
It's actually a good movie.
Did you get the pic I sent you, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
I just wanted to pop that up for a second just before we get off the topic, because I think she's perfect, and I don't like the idea of we couldn't find anybody. No, you didn't try hard enough. Like she's there.
Yeah,
Again,
let me
Like,
pull it
Are
up
they
here.
remaking this?
Yes, they are making the book version of it. So apparently they're sticking much closer to the book with this.
The book version, of course.
But they always say that. Like Rings of Power is closer to Tolkien, and then it wasn't. They steal from Peter Jackson.
That's just a trope line now. Like, oh, it's closer to the book. It's just to get people interested, and it's just hype. They don't actually care about these things. I'm so cynical when it comes to these remakes of any kind.
Yeah, I mean, American Psycho had very loose inspirations from the book itself. From what I know, I might need to be fact checked on that. But yeah, this so-called remake is sticking much closer to the books. From what I know, that's at least what they said. I can't remember who's behind the remake. But yeah, not optimistic about it.
The one thing that has kept this movie going is the memes. Like,
Yeah.
how many times have you seen that business card scene? And then instead of business cards, it's anime characters or it's different death scenes. Or...
Yeah,
I'm surprised I haven't seen Studio Ghibli memes yet of it.
This was the person who might be able to play Abby, you suggested?
Yes.
Let's see.
Well, where'd you go? Yep. Yeah, you can
The one
zoom
on
in
the
a
left?
little
I
bit.
zoom in, yeah.
Definitely the one on the left.
You mean the guy on the left, right? Yeah. So.
Well, I picked that picture so you can see for contrast just how big this chick actually is. Like, this is where they found the mountain for Game of Thrones. Like, there's a lot of good people you can cast for roles in strongmen and strong women, and she's one of the. There's her and another woman, similar build, could have played Abby no problem. Like, and I just think it would be much more believable casting. Instead, we have the chick from Captain America 4, like the little Harfoot chick, just bodying big bodyguards. Like, it's so bullshit. I'd rather see an accurate casting like this that makes sense. You know, there's a reason a lot of girls look up to Gina Carano because she actually looks like she can kick some ass. I don't think Bella Ramsey's gonna get that same reaction.
Rhea Ripley from WWE could have played her.
How do you maintain that physique in a post-apocalyptic world?
That's the big plot hole.
She's stealing trend from
Abby.
fucking from hospitals, man.
Stealing all the protein
Yeah.
shakes.
That's the big
God.
problem.
She's stealing all the fucking steroids. Christ. Well, we do have a ton of super chats to get to, so shall we get started?
Yes.
Okay. Well, TGV Monster gifted 1 Little Platoon membership,
Welcome to whoever that is.
and M8566 gifted 5 of those motherfuckers.
Welcome to whoever they are.
And then TGV Monster sent in a super for $2. Hi everyone, welcome. It's so nice to see you all. It's good to see you. Bonesaw is ready to answer Brooks. This started pre-production in mid-2023. That would be Fantastic Four. After She-Hulk failed with the same messaging, they are never going to change.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like Platoon said, that doesn't mean they can't learn and hide it in the marketing. Like, if you're
Mhm.
not
You just don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah, just that's it.
Imagine. James Busher, hi all. Any of you checked out Mobland yet? Very enjoyable so far. I saw that advertised and it definitely piqued my interest.
I have
Is that
seen
the
the
one with-
first episode. Yeah, Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan,
not sure.
is he in it?
Yes. Very good. Tom
it good?
Hardy as well. Yeah. I'd recommend it so far. I mean, it can go downhill. Yeah, it's only the first episode, but yeah, a lot more
check it out.
grittier, dark than The Gentleman. I think his last show was Guy Ritchie's. So yeah, very British. I'm liking it so far, and it's good to see Tom Hardy in something good again, rather than the Venom movies. But hey,
Yeah, Venom.
yeah.
Pie Guy says, I think we're stuck with 2 more years of woke movies because production times could rewrite, but then they got reshoots, release windows, etc. to deal with. Yeah, like they attempted to do with Cap 4. Just
Yes,
didn't
well,
work out
that's
so
what makes
well.
me so sort of fascinated by Ironheart, though, because Cap 4 went in during production and changed a bunch of shit because it was unpopular, but Ironheart was finished before they started getting scared. So in theory, it could be like a little time vortex back into the period of like maximum self-confidence in messaging. It could be hilarious.
It will be.
I hope it's She-Hulk bad.
I'm
That would be perfect.
That's my most anticipated piece of Marvel content. Like, Riri Williams is a fucking mine. She's just a giant mine.
Yeah, she really is. This could be the
guys-
TV equivalent of Snow White for sure.
I'm telling you, I hope it goes just full MCU. It just goes nuts. Like, can't wait for it.
Did you guys even hear how Riri became Ironheart?
Oh, I've read. I was there from her inception. I read the
I
first
was
comic
there.
book when it came out. I was there.
Is it worth? I feel like I might commit to my Riri research and actually read her comic because
It's
Wow.
really fucking bad, dude.
yeah.
What happened?
Like the teacher, right, says, "Oh, you can't be such and such," and really was like really annoyed about it. Like, tell me who I can't be. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Having to go
degrade
at her.
me.
Yeah. And the teacher was like, "Well, you can't be Tony Stark. Yeah, you can't be him." And then she just becomes Tony Stark.
Yeah,
which
she
is
basically
was
she
super
gives the
wrong.
pouty face, like, how fucking dare you do what I
Teacher
just
said I couldn't
requested?"
do it, so I did it. To be young, black, and gifted, though, right? Like that's
I don't
pretty
know
much her
about-
famous
They
quote. from the
had
movie.
a line like that in Black Panther.
Yeah, that's the quote I was just doing. I ended
Oh,
my
okay,
video with
yeah,
that
yeah.
quote where she's like, "Oh, my teacher said I couldn't do it, so I did it. To be young, black, and gifted, though, right?" And my fucking brain melted on that quote. I was just like, "Are you like what?"
Straight from the
That's it?
comics, man.
That is, yeah, it's absolutely. And you compare that to Tony's line of like saying like, "I know in my heart that this is the right thing," and like it's just completely night and day. These characters, like she is just insufferable. Man.
It sounds like a heroic origin story to me. I don't know about you guys. Like,
Right.
geez.
It literally sounds like a super villain origin
Yeah.
tale.
100%. Yes.
Of a kid
You
who
said I can't be Tony
despises
Stark. I'll
Her
fucking
first
show you.
scene, her first scene in Wakanda Forever is grabbing the phone out of some kid's hand, the dude she was doing business with. Like they established that she's an asshole from the very beginning,
And then
people
she
like
kills
to compare
cops.
that. Yeah, I can't even get over that. See, like nice one, Riri. They have Shuri yell "nice one, Riri" after she blows up the top.
She kills
It's like
police officers.
it's insane. It's insane.
Oh,
And
God.
I think I've said this before, but it deserves mentioning. Out of all the crappy actors like Cassie from Ant-Man, America Chavez, I think Riri Williams is actually a better actress than those ones. Like there was 2 scenes in Wakanda Forever that I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. But I don't think she's gonna have any script to work with. I think the character, the messaging in the character is gonna trump everything else.
Mephisto's going to be in Ironheart, by the way. You guys remember Mephisto, where we were
Yeah.
speculating that he was going to be in WandaVision? Yeah, he's going to be in this one now.
Everyone
Yeah,
thought
makes
he was gonna
sense.
be the one who's manipulating WandaVision, and they're gonna do some big like twist.
he's
but
going to
no.
be involved with the Hood. Yeah, but even though Mephisto has nothing to do with the Hood, but whatever.
You know, with Ironheart,
fit people?
she came from the era of the comic books. It's like people forget that there was and still is like an era of woke comic books, and that's
Yep.
where they're taking from.
Yeah.
Because comic books, like they don't make a lot of money anymore. Like constantly, series are canceled, etc. And it's because they just don't sell very well. And so really the comic books are just like the research and development arm of the movies. And then they just pillage those. And you know,
And
this came out like 2016, 17, right around when all this bullshit kind of started.
Yeah,
So
so when Iron Man was in his prime and a little kid watched an Iron Man movie and said, "Oh man, I want more Iron Man," you go to get a comic and you're fucking Riri Williams to do
right,
with.
exactly.
Like that is the stupidest. It's one of the biggest mistakes the MCU made that people don't talk about enough, because that's how you make lifetime fans. Like if you just want more of this character, you don't even care where you're willing to read. You know, if you're not a big reader, like that's huge. Yeah, and they screw that up. Like the Lord of the Rings movies probably did gangbusters for the books. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, just how it works.
I still
Right,
can't
and
believe.
That's what's
Sorry.
so fucking crazy was just like I was reading a lot of comic books at the time, and I stopped for a reason because they were very bad. And like they would talk about the fact that creators would talk about the fact that they just can't believe that the movies are so popular, but it's not bringing people to the comics. And you just killed it, Brooks, because it literally was, well, Iron Man's in the movies, but he's not in the fucking comic books.
It's insane. Like, how do you not get that connection? Like, how many the Lord of the Rings games after? Who didn't want to go and fuck up some Urukai? Like, get me in there, you know? Like, it's just so simple. But they don't even understand their own like basic marketing anymore and like their own fan base. And the fact that that happened to some kid, we all know that scenario I just described happened to some kid. Went in to see some Iron Man lore and he got Riri Williams. What the fuck is this? This isn't Tony.
Yep.
Want that character. I want more of it. I want to know his mind. And like, no, they just keep fucking around.
Yep. Richard Shaft says, if they one and done Galactus, they all need to be fired into the sun. They need more recurring villains, and Galactus is big enough to have that role. Yeah, agreed.
Yes. He should be set up over a phase, even. He
3
should-
movies.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a
Yeah,
Thanos level threat.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's gigantic. His
And-
presence is just incredible. They can, if they do him right, he could be really something special. But they'll fuck him up.
I mean, whoever they cast, I can't remember the name. Ralph Innes. He's a good choice. Yes.
He's the guy from The Father from The Witch. He's got like the greatest voice ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
He's
a
so
very
good.
good choice. But
He's also the
Silver
he's a Game of
Surfer.
Thrones as well.
thing is, like, it's such a beautiful story of Silver Surfer coming to Earth, being convinced by Alicia to kind of spare planet Earth, being convinced of the worth of the good and worth of humanity, and yeah, Silver Surfer then kills Galactus, basically, or gets him away, and they're wasting all that potential, all that story potential for just.
Yep.
It annoys me so much, but
Well,
whatever.
they're rebooting the entire universe, so he could come back, but as a woman.
It's true.
That's not even a joke.
I just don't. I really don't understand how it kind of happened in Doctor Strange 2, where you do have your introduction of the X-Men into the MCU, and you only get one shot at that, and it's really just for like a gag or, you know, to kill Professor X, and it's going to numb the introduction of the real X-Men later on. And so if they do that with Galactus, it's not gonna be such a gargantuan moment when if he is brought back as the alternate or, you know, the mainline version of him, because you already did it in this movie.
Are they jangling keys or developing characters? That's the big question always.
They
Or
look
if
like
they turn into Loki, a
Yeah,
redundant comic
Right.
relief character.
yeah.
You need to establish someone who's tough. They beat up Galactus.
Genmai Cha says, men who are feminists or into any current year uni activist crap are turnoffs. I'm glad that gay bear wolf subculture hasn't been ruined by them yet.
What?
Well, there's a gay bear wolf subculture.
I
What's the
Furry?
difference
There's
between
an
a bear and a wolf?
everything subculture.
Fair enough.
I guess that might have something to do with the absence of women in the gay bear wolf subculture. Because, you know, most uni male feminists are in it to try and get laid, and they don't want to get laid by a fucking giant bear creature. So no.
Protect them. Bonesaw is ready, says, between Daredevil, Born Again, Doctor Who, Fantastic Four, etc., it really feels like all these writers are throwing temper tantrums because their ideology was rejected.
It definitely sounds that way for Doctor Who. It sounds like they are writing that knowing that no one is watching it, so there's nothing to stop them. They're
Just
fucked either
me.
way, so let's just go and offend as many people as possible.
Yeah, it is just for me. I am the only person who makes videos. He literally, there's a bit where the woman goes, "It's Planet of the Incels," even though the fucking title's called like Robot Rebellion or some shit. So she actively has to outright say it.
Paul
hate that
Connolly, Paul Connolly says, "Hail BSUP. I've just seen that Joseph Quinn is the same age as me. With pronouncements like his, I'm beginning to think my generation sucks." Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
I feel the same way. Yeah. This generation sucks.
Yeah, but we
ki-
can all
yeah, we
agree
kinda
to hate
do.
the boomers. That's always a great thing.
We can all
Everyone
Every
unite.
sucks.
generation
Yeah.
is united in a hatred for the boomers.
It's true.
Once they're gone, we're turning on each other.
But until then, we're allies.
United.
David Smart is a member now,
Welcome.
and he sent in a super chat. Big fan of this panel. I'm done with Marvel and DC. I can't take my kids to see any of this because it's trash and they didn't learn anything at all. Yeah.
But
From
at least
the
there's
sound of
always the older movies from the time when they were good and well written. Luckily, there's a massive back catalog of those.
Yeah, there are still good movies in the MCU. A lot of them still hold up. Maggie says, I'm behind, but the type of man I find sexy is John Wick.
You don't want to see him completely emasculated and like this sensitive version of him.
Right. You need to have him avenging a dog.
That's the key.
That is key.
Mhm.
Jack Burton for 20 big ones says, check out the Primitive War trailer, dinosaurs in the Vietnam War.
Interesting.
Oh. Wasn't
Kind of
there an
I know
Adam
the
Driver
film-
movie that came out last year?
45.
65.
45,
Oh,
I think.
65. Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. Wrong numbers.
I can't blame you. It's one of the most forgettable movies to have ever movied. It's
Is it that bad? Oh man.
It's just
Like that, eh?
fucking with, but it's
Generic.
not even like they aren't even real dinosaurs. It's like they're procedurally generated weird things. Like they stick the head of a T-Rex in the body of a cat for some fucking reason.
Oh man.
Um,
We don't need that. Just
Oh, man.
we don't need that, man. This idea that a dinosaur isn't interesting on its own, we have to blend it with a fucking cat. Like, come on.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like Turok. Remember that game
Yeah.
series?
oh yeah.
I also find it fascinating that only Jurassic Park has been able to monetize dinosaurs after all this time, pretty much. Like it's a cool
Yeah,
concept
that's a good
that no one else
point.
seems to do anything with.
Well, their
Yeah,
looks
like-
are so iconic that it, like whenever I think of dinosaurs, I want them to look like the ones in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Even if the movies aren't good.
if we saw like we brought a T-Rex back to life for a raptor and they didn't look like that, they looked like some stupid bird, we'd be so
We'd be
like,
pissed.
man.
Someone actually did that. Someone has like taken the Velociraptor scene from Jurassic Park and stuck feathers on them, and it's just wrong.
It's not right.
Yeah. Yep.
Lame.
Have
Man,
you
real
guys,
dinosaurs were lame.
everyone in the United Kingdom, have you guys heard of a show called Primeval? It used to be in the early 2000s.
Oh, I've heard of that. I don't know if I might have seen it when I was a kid. I don't remember though.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I don't know if it's particularly holds up well, but I do remember really enjoying it. It's basically where like time tears open up around the UK and then dinosaurs come through them, and there's like a agency that has to get them back into the portal before it closes.
That does
Every-
sound familiar.
And every week you'd get like a new dinosaur. Yeah, it was fun. I miss when dinosaurs were fun rather than just making 5 Jurassic Park movies.
And they start saying dinosaurs saying Alan.
Yeah,
Like, as soon as
Alan,
it-
Jurassic Park 3, bro.
I'll never get that image out of my head. Like what?
I know
Why?
the raptor
No,
puppet.
No,
dude.
we have to have muted dinosaur guys.
Oh my
Dinosaurs by
God.
themselves aren't enough. Like, jeez.
Like the raptors in the kitchen scene is a horror scene. To this day, it holds up.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
tension is phenomenal, and the fact from that to Saint Alan and all the other crap, yeah. It's so
Alan.
so
God.
stupid.
That was such a bad movie.
The ringtone dinosaur following them around, like oh man.
Yeah, the cell phone in his belly.
Yeah,
I liked Jurassic Park 3, I'll be honest. I really didn't like the second one.
I think the effects in that movie were better than the first 2 movies. That was like one thing it had, the visual effects in
I
Jurassic
do
Park 3
remember
were
Jurassic Park
spectacular.
3 looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
And I'll never shame someone for liking dinosaurs. They're fun, but there's only one good Jurassic Park movie. It's just-
Indeed.
that's
Yeah.
it.
You know, when I was young and The Lost World came out, the theater I went to kind of was like a Minecraft situation.
Oh yeah, that can make you love a film no matter how bad it is.
It was. I remember being a little puke and standing up in my seat when the T-Rex was in San Diego and he like mashed up against the bus. Everyone was going fucking crazy and like throwing popcorn. It really was like like one of those Minecraft videos.
That movie like awakened my cynical mind. I told you this when the black chick kicked the raptor.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We
I
were
was
like,
like,
this isn't
no.
right.
No, that was like an awakening moment for me as a kid. Of like, nah,
Yeah.
you crossed the line here.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Broke my reality, you bitch.
That was the moment.
Yeah. Jeremy Soden says the creativity and storytelling of the game players, not the filmmakers. Yeah. When it comes to Minecraft, I think I said in my review, like I've seen kids build things 10,000 times more creative in Minecraft than anything in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
There's anti-creativity. Bonesaw's Ready says douchebags going to the theater to be disruptive and scare the crap out of poor chickens is another reason this stupid Minecraft movie is doing well.
Yeah, people brought chickens to the theater and then
Yeah.
abandoned them afterwards.
Bro, that's so fucked up.
All for the internet. That's the thing as well. Not for the movie experience, just to show people online how much of a twat you are.
I just feel sorry for the cinema workers having to clean up that shit.
I know. It's such a mess.
Chicken shit all over the place as well. Like you have to clean up
Ugh.
puke and chicken shit. Add that to the list. Like, jeez.
Good. Wiznilly P for 10 smackers says $50 to Jedi or Platoon if you can read the review of G20 on Decider without throwing your device. Fuck it. 100. I double dare you.
Has anyone here seen G20?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah,
Not yet.
I do plan on it.
I saw it.
It's fucking nonsense. It's so trash. It's
Yeah.
not quite
So
Madam Web tier, but it is fucking funny bad. It's one
close.
of those on the list. Yeah.
You know what?
Madam
If
Web
someone covers it, I'll watch that. I won't watch it itself by
I
myself.
might,
That would be
I
painful.
might cover it. I haven't decided yet.
Technology makes no sense in that movie. The
There's a
deep fake.
couple of them. I've just googled the Decider one. There's I don't know which one in precisely he means. There's one titled Viola Davis's G20 Amazon movie is a fantasy of American heroism that feels absurd in today's climate. Is that the one? That sounds like it's going to be retarded enough to be the review he has in mind. I might give that a read later.
And they're not kidding, man. Her son gets interstellared. Like it's so bad. It's just completely. His daughters are amazing. He only exists to show how incredible the daughter is. He's just there breathing oxygen. That's nuts.
Yeah, she's like a hacker and can slip through Secret Service security.
She's got all the powers. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it. Doge says, didn't think Minecraft would induce salt like this. Well, it did. It did. It's not a good movie.
Trash.
Stop it.
Trash.
Rolando A. Ramirez says, Reaper, it's the children, the brain-rotted children like this. It's sad.
Well, it's not just the children, because you can always follow Bender's advice, which is turn off the TV, sit with them, and then beat them. You can always change that. Most of the dickheads in the audience are fully grown men on
Yep.
TikTok, fucking record themselves. And hitting them at that point is only fun. It won't change them.
Hemorrhoid Hurts says, Minecraft. I'd rather slowly saw my scrotum off with a butter knife than watch that slop. On the upside, good morning, bee suppers. How fucking early is it?
Not for us.
No.
It's the evening now.
It is 11:12 here in the UK.
6 here. Again, my cha says, what is a slot movie that you like other than Madam Web? Mine is Never Too Young to Die. Gene Simmons, John Stamos, Vanity, and Robert Englund. Ooh, that's a stellar cast. I like that. Mine is Friday the 13th. Pick one. They're all slop. It's all
They're
bullshit.
all pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddy vs. Jason's a big one for me. And
Pure slop.
the Predator was so stupid that I kind of enjoyed it. Like that's one of those ones. If you're a hardcore Predator fan, the insult to the lore might piss you off. But yeah, it was so dumb. I kind of enjoyed the Predator, but I don't know how that'll hold up on a rewatch.
I need to think about mine. There's
Yeah,
probably
it's
one that I'm really
tricky.
forgetting. Yeah.
Because Madam Web is just such the obvious example.
It's such an
but
easy pick, yeah.
I don't know. I'm into like Halloween on the horror theme. I quite like the Halloween
Not
films,
the
even the
original.
really slop ones. Well,
Leave
maybe
that
not,
one
but
alone.
Everything after the original Halloween.
All right,
is
thank you.
slop.
I'll
That's
take
most
that.
horror movies. Like they
Season
get
of the
one good
Witch.
story. Yeah.
The Season of the Witch is awful.
You know, it was actually fascinating watching you guys break down the Freddy movies and like saying, like, wait a minute, these are kind of shit. Like, these are just like until you actually get to the one that where they use the concept. I found it very
Part
interesting.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
3
people
is
think
a good
of Freddy is really only played within that film. The rest is just like
Mm-hmm.
nonsense. Yeah, it's interesting.
The
There's
third one
probably-
was written by Wes Craven, who wrote the first one, which is why it's probably the only decent one.
And wasn't the guy who did the first Walking Dead like season, Frank Darabont or something? Wasn't he a part of it?
I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know.
I thought of one. There's probably a couple, but I do remember one. The first Alien vs Predator movie.
That's a good
I
one.
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
slop.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's slop-tastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Hemorrhoid Hurt says my ear pricked up when you mentioned robot Jizz Mop. Was I here for that?
No, Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
mopping up
God,
the
yeah.
jizz. Mopping up the jizz.
God.
Oh, wait, to the chat, Jason Takes Manhattan. That's absolutely hilarious as well. That's another
Yeah,
one.
that's the one we did a BSUP
Didn't he
breakdown
go to
of.
space as well?
Jason X,
He's been
baby.
everywhere.
He went- he's
Manhattan,
been all over the
space,
place.
Yeah,
Oh,
under the
wow,
water. Oh,
wow.
it's crazy.
Okay, I'm missing out on Jason movies then. Great.
That is
Yeah.
stupid. One of the stupidest movies ever made. I gotta rewatch that actually, just for the memes.
Yeah, Jason X is just a piece of shit. It's awful.
Actually, now I'm curious to check out Jason X again soon.
It does
Doesn't
have
he
one of the
become like a
best kills of
machine?
all time, though, dude.
The ice one? Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, exactly.
I'm
the
glad
ice
we
one.
agree. I think that's one of the best kills ever. Just like,
Yes.
yeah, fuck you.
Lance says, I think Poopy Pee Doo Doo should get way more criticism for taking the role of Snape. Have some pride and recognize the role is not for you.
That's so fucking rude. Oh my god, it took me a second. Oh, poor dude, man.
Fuck.
Oh, god. African names just get fucking slandered, man. Nobody has any
Straight
patience
slander.
for them. Yeah, nobody has patience for them, man. I think they're cool, but
Oh god.
I have the problem of having the Polish name as well, so
mm,
struggle is real.
mhm.
Steel Manning says they might as well have The Rock play Snape.
I can see it.
That would actually
Yeah.
make sense when he says, "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?" and it's potions class.
Dude, I want to see that for the memes.
Intent Matters says True Pop is Papa Sidu even British Reaper? Well, he is.
Well,
Is this guy acting like the Doctor Who dude, where he's just being arrogant in the interviews and whatnot, or is he actually being respectful to the role?
I haven't seen
I haven't heard a
single
word
interview with
about
him.
it.
It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
about how he handles it. If he comes out with the Doctor Who attitude, he's screwed. He needs to show that he's a fan of the books, and he's going to try to do his best.
Yeah.
to, like,
There's a way to do this. Yeah.
No,
No. He'll get in like a car and say, "Guys, I've read some nasty comments online,"
God.
and
Oh, Jesus.
like Ian McGregor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Simon Pegg and that fucking She-Hulk hostage
Oh.
video.
Yeah,
It's
he had the
best
gun to
thing
his head,
since
100%.
Blazing Saddles. Please don't
That was
shoot my
awesome.
children.
That was awesome, man. They're in the trunk wrapped up right now, and there's like 3 guns to his head. Like poor Simon.
It's always in the car. It's always
But-
in the car when they do this
yeah.
video of themselves.
I think interviews will make or break that man's career.
How do I pronounce this? Amabilis? Is that right?
That sounds
But-
right.
Weekly reminder that life is a joke and not even a good one. Oh, shit. Damn.
I like how this is on Monday again. The most happiest day.
Jokes have a point though, so I hope life has a point as well.
God, what's the punchline to life? It's just
Yeah.
Death, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's deep.
Eyes to the Sky says, Fantastic Four. Normally, they tell us that creators have zero care for the source material after the movie comes out, not
Mhm.
before. Such a bummer.
They're slipping. The mask is slipping.
Yeah. It's weird. They still talk like this was like 2020, you know? Like they're still talking like it's like cool to say these things.
Well, it's what got them the job in the first place.
Yeah, it's all they know.
It's so weird.
And it's the illusion of the modern
Read the
audience.
fucking room, man.
Yeah. They can't, man, because they think the room is full of these people called the modern audience that doesn't exist. And one of the things I found interesting with Snow White was having so many people reference how that scene scared them when they were a kid. It scared their parents when they were a kid. And like, there's no modern audience bullshit. If you make a good movie that's timeless, it's going to affect anyone from any generation. And they've forgotten that. They have to adapt everything to this crazy online culture now. And I don't know. failed mentality.
You
Mhm.
get the job at Marvel if you hate the comics. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Mega Spidey Man, thanks for those EFAP real BBC vids, True Pop. They're pretty good. To all, who do you think were the best actors in Harry Potter?
Why, thank you, good sir.
It's got to be Alan Rickman.
Yeah,
Inconveniently, yes, for the new casting, it's probably Alan Rickman's
Yeah.
high on that list.
I like the first Dumbledore. The second Dumbledore's an asshole.
Michael Gambon, yeah, he didn't do quite so good a job.
He didn't do the research. He didn't care to research the character.
Wow.
Well, no, he said because he did. He went on Top Gear and almost killed himself. And he was asked by Jeremy Clarkson, like, "Do you have a clue what's going on?" And he said, "No."
He just played it how he
tried
wanted.
reading the books, but
Have you seen that video where the Goblet of Fire, it gets the book and goes, "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?"
Harry, did you put
Dumbledore
your name
asked calmly, and
Yeah.
then it cuts to the movie,
Yeah.
and he's running at him going,
Yep.
"Have you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?"
it is the great thing about J.K. Rowling because she's not a very good prose stylist. She tells you exactly how every single line is delivered because she writes like that all the time. It's like so and so said softly, so and so said calmly, so and so said angrily, or if it's really angry, she puts it in all caps like a child. So like the actor doesn't have an excuse to not know how that line is supposed to be delivered because the fucking script notes are in the book.
I've heard that about her writing, that she shoves verbs into like everything. That's true.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides Alan Rickman, I mean, what's name's gone? Professor McGonagall's actress, Maggie Smith, she's good in basically everything she's
Oh, yeah.
in, so.
I like Mad Eye. What's his face? Mad Eye Moody.
Oh
Yeah.
he was good. He was
Brendan
good fun.
Gleeson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually David Tennant as well.
Oh yeah, David Tennant. He's in it.
You-
He has
yeah.
that lick. Keeps licking his face.
Every British actor was in the Harry Potter movies, basically.
Yes.
All of them.
Not anymore.
Steel Manning says they'll pad Last of Us season 2 with 3 more unrelated episodes of Bill living in gay utopia. That's how you get 2 seasons.
Well, he's dead now, so they might have trouble doing that, but they could
Gay
probably
utopia
conjure
heaven.
another one.
They're in gay hell.
But it's also it's a
Gardening.
slightly weird utopia given that he dies of cancer. So it's like it's not the most utopian utopia I can think of.
Lunal Star, I suspect Bella is a secret Habsburg.
Do you know what that is?
I have
I
no
was
clue what a Habsburg
Struggling with
is.
that reference, yeah.
The inbred family in the Holy
Oh.
Roman Empire.
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Habsburg jaw.
That's
Have you
nice.
if you can Google the picture of the Habsburgs, don't.
Intent Matters says, with addition of Reaper and Brooks as co-hosts, this has become my favorite show on YouTube. You guys have great chemistry. Keep it up. Reaper, say something offensive. Hopes Reaper will stick.
Well, man, thanks. Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Trying to think.
You
I could, but it'd get banned. That's the problem. I have to.
Hello, all my
I'll think it's for
N-words.
next week.
Save it for next time. Common people. Hey, Cynic, have you made a Studio Ghibli AI girlfriend yet? No.
No, the real
No.
one's kind of better. Although, like,
The real one's better. She's out there,
she's
though.
over there. Like, she's cool.
Over there. I can make her come in here.
Oh, jeez.
I could make her come in here.
Get in here.
You just have to inflate her beforehand.
The scene from Airplane, but instead of the pilot, it's the woman.
She does not want to ever be on this stream. I've asked her to come in here before, and she's like, "Fucking no, I don't want to be part of your whole fucking thing."
Fucking weirdo. It's a weird thing to balance, though, too. You don't always want to like have your real life
Yeah.
smashed in. Keep some privacy.
I don't know. I posted on Twitter like our Christmas photo or whatever. But
Did she
And
call
you
you?
still
a
ended
whore?
up getting a cringe comment from that, if you remember.
I what from Matt Cat? Matt Cat hitting on my girlfriend, telling me how hot she
Man's
is.
in love. Man was in love.
He
What are you
was.
doing, bro?
Jesus
What are you
Christ.
doing?
Jesus Christ! I just have to say, movie cynic. Your girlfriend is just so fucking hot.
I muted that one. I'm out. Sorry, Matt. I'm out. Look what I started.
Besney Lala sent in a super sticker. I can't see it, but we do appreciate it.
I couldn't tell if that profile
here.
picture was Lenin or Sean Connery.
Lennon didn't have like a big mustache like that, I think. No, he didn't have a big mustache.
He had a moustache, maybe not like the big curly one. It's like he had a
not
moustache,
big
like a
curly one.
pointy beard.
Yeah. Maybe it was Engels.
Ministry of Dinosaurs says, my favorite part of Riri's story is that Riri, super smart, needs to study differential equations in uni, while I, not super smart, had them in high school.
Yeah, it's so stupid. She has differential equations class, and like for someone of her caliber, it's just I don't know. Everything with her opening origin was just botched, in my opinion. They didn't learn anything from the Tony Stark scene. That scene with him in the car, you get his whole character in like 2 minutes, and I don't know. You're copying this man, but you still don't know what made him work.
Ian says, in Netflix's Daredevil, when Foggy or Karen criticized Matt for being Daredevil, it was out of fear of him dying. When characters in Born Again criticize him, it's them questioning if Daredevil is even a hero or does anything good.
Yep.
What's the guy called? Cherry. He basically goes, when Matt goes after Muse, he goes to him, do you think that's the right thing to do? When he's a fucking serial killer who's killed 60 people. Of course it is.
That's like a genocide. 60 people. I don't know why they went with that high of a number. Like, even the most famous serial killer only killed about, what, 30, 40? Like, the fact that a whole police squad is not on this guy is just absurd. And Daredevil needs to step in. Otherwise, that would be just completely irresponsible. So I don't know what Cherry's on about.
The only counter to it is that because like Muse is not actually hidden at all, some random child comes and says, hey, like 60 people died in the vicinity of this underground station. Maybe he's there. And he goes there, and lo and behold, he is. The police could have done that, and I'm pretty sure they would have done that. And they do turn up after the fact, so he didn't need to do it in that situation. But because the stupid child got herself kidnapped, so he felt he had to.
Yeah. How does Matt even find him? They don't even explain that. Just have him show up there. And
he's just running around all night.
It's near that disused station, the one they shut down a few years ago. I wonder if he could be in the disused train station, and lo and behold, he is. Fucking just dial 911. God damn it!
But
you don't have to use vigilantes.
But aren't trains going back and forth past her?
I guess they just don't stop at that station. But yeah, they are. It's the line itself is still running. Like if anyone's looking out of the window as the train goes past, you get 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness!
What the fuck's happening there? And it's gone.
Did they even take advantage of the fact that Muse like can't be sensed by Daredevil? So there's that counter there.
Yeah, no, that's not in the show from what I remember. Unless it comes in the episode I haven't seen yet, that's not mentioned.
That's such a waste.
No, he always finds Muse and knows how to fight him.
I was gonna say, like, I get that in the north of England here, like outside my bus window, like, oh look, there's a guy puking. Oh no, what's happening there? Kind of thing. So I can relate.
We had one final super chat come in from Wiznilly P. At Platoon, yes, that article. It's infuriating.
Gotcha. I will give it a look.
But that does it for all the super chats. I do want to thank our guest, True Pop Culture, for coming on. I really appreciate you being here, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah,
for sure, man.
No, it was a pleasure. I listen to you guys from time to time, and yeah, it's always fun to listen to. So
yeah, and
you have me on here is just thank you. Really.
I had a lot of fun streaming with you the first time. I don't remember what show it was, but it was a good time. So I remember, it's one of those situations where you don't remember the details, but you remember how it made you feel.
It's the same thing I said when they came in.
They start blurring together after a time, but you remember having fun. That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. Right. Where can we find you next, sir? What are you up to and what are you doing?
Well, you can find my YouTube channel, True Pop Culture 7. I somewhat regularly edit like meme videos and highlights from different live streams. So like your Real BBC, like your Friday Night Tights, like your ETHUP as well. Yeah, they get watched a lot. So yeah, guys, check them out. Sometimes I do my own live streams, movie reviews, short reviews outside of a cinema. The next film I'm probably going to review is The Amateur, because it's the only thing that might be worthwhile to watch. And I'm tempted to do a live stream on Good Friday to cover The Passion of Christ, but I have no idea who I could review that with. So that's a maybe on that live stream. But yeah, and you guys can check out my Twitter at TrueCulture7 as well. And again, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely. And his link is in the description and will be on the re-up description as well. So, and Mr. Brooks, thanks for being here, dude.
No problem.
Yeah.
Since the subject came up, I'd say just people check out my Ironheart video. That's always there because get refreshed for when Riri is released on us. And yeah, the Snow White video did like fantastic. Check that out for sure too. If anyone.
Yeah, it's a very good video. I just watched it this morning.
Thank you.
The usual Jedi Brooks brilliance. So
no, the scene comparison was fun. It ended up turning out much better than I expected. And like seeing all the Rachel Zegler comments, like getting all of them and seeing how much you can work with them and compare them to things was pretty interesting. That girl, one of the worst PR disasters I've ever seen in my life.
Amazing. So, yeah.
Check that video, anyone.
Reaper, are you still not doing anything?
I still haven't done anything. And now with all these shows, I've got more stuff I'm not gonna do.
All right.
Just thinking of G20. Maybe we'll see. How in my head. That movie's pretty shit, but we'll see.
I hear it's bad, so I might be watching it tonight.
I was surprised we weren't talking about it today. Like I thought it would have been.
I just realized it came out, or I would have thrown it in there and watched it this morning. But
like I've been on a giant marathon today. I watched G20, all of Daredevil, and fucking half of Last of Us.
Damn.
In a day.
Well, I also watched Doctor Who as well. That's all today. I watched everything.
Wow.
How are you still talking to us? That brain damage.
Yeah, seriously, the brain rot.
Did you in Platoon give us a recommendation or neutral for The Last of Us? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm sort of waiting until at least half the season's out before, because there's enough in the performance is good, it still looks good. There's some not so sure about that, and it's only episode 1, so
okay,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And Platoon, when are you dropping that Snow White video?
Fuck knows. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this time last week I said theoretically there will be 3 videos coming out this week, and not a single one of them came out. So I'm going to say the same thing. Theoretically, there'll be 3 videos out this week. Get back to me next week when none of them are out again.
I should use that. Theoretically, I've got all these videos.
I have a When Celebrities Self-Destruct Part 3 video coming out soon. It has been sent off to Bagface to edit the video. So I don't know if it'll be out before next time. But and just FYI, there will be no BSUP next week because I will be in Vegas watching WrestleMania. Well, flying back from doing that. So on Monday. So I can't be here. But yeah, we'll return the following week though.
Yes.
And one more super chat came in for you, Platoon.
Common people for a very specific £6.69. Hey Platoon, remember way back when I asked Cynic, hey Cynic, have you made a Studio Ghibli AI girlfriend yet? Good times. Good times. Have you done it since we read that super chat out 5 minutes ago?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I haven't done it yet. I don't think I will. And, well, unless Amy breaks up with me, then maybe I'll consider it.
She's in the kitchen at the moment on her phone making you one, so she can just storm out and leave.
She's probably listening right now, wondering why the fuck we're talking about.
Unless she's already dead and you've propped her up in the corner like some doll. You're not leaving me.
What the hell?
You know, one of the super chats.
Or There is
say
no
something
Amy.
offensive.
It's just,
That was
There it is, delayed.
it's just you in a wig. You put it on and you're Amy.
Tell Bagface to stop sticking Andrew Tate in your videos. Yeah, I think he just really likes that reaction. He does put that very particular one in constantly. And every time I see it too, it just bothers me. And I haven't
is
brought
one of
it
my
up to him yet.
Biggest question in terms of editors, like fighting over memes, because that's such a subjective thing. Like in terms of the joke delivery.
It
and
truly is. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like. What's hilarious is like there's no color discrepancy in who he puts in. He's black. He only puts black memes in. Like it's just straight. it's like it's so hilariously noticeable. Like every meme is just some black guy doing. Like there's no.
Yeah, I did
No
notice that.
diversity.
That is true.
oh, who posted this video? Oh, so pasty white guy. Oh, okay.
It's funny.
Oh god.
Tough, man.
But anyway, thanks so much to the chat. You guys are on fire every week, and
Yeah.
it's so funny to read you guys what you guys are saying. So really appreciate it, and everyone who sticks around through the super chats and watches, we really appreciate that. But Platoon, I'll let you see us out of here.
Gotcha. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
Have a good rest of your Monday. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Fuck you.